You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about Rue Dog and the Dweet. No, you are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Ari.
And it's me, Brian. And on this episode, we are covering 2 weeks of anime because I fell over and missed a week and probably missed some of the things we watched.
Fell into a whole pit of anime. We were to haul him out of there. I know he's got opinions. He's been irradiated with them.
I didn't write in the dates, unfortunately, because my brain was just like, I can't remember what fucking time it is. Time is an illusion.
I went to see a Spy Family film. And talk about that. And if you're really desperate, I can talk about that terrible Jerry Seinfeld film.
Oh, yeah.
April the 20th to May the 3rd. That's the fortnight we're talking about. Starting with Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night, Episode 3, Kiui, Watase, and Episode 4, Double A Side.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced Kiwi, the way they say it, which is why I can remember the name, because my brain's just like, oh yeah, she's from New Zealand, easy peasy. I can remember that.
No, she's just from like it's like a rural like elementary school. She's one of like Maru's oldest friends, and she was always like, you know, I was a big confident one. I was standing up to the boys and they were being smelly. It's like, yeah, all right, but they went to different middle schools, and they said, oh, I see like hang out, you know, when you're doing the streams or on the phone. Oh yeah, cool. You got all figured out. So, oh yeah, I got student council. I got like, you know, busy being like the star of the school. She isn't star of the school at all. In fact, she's not going at all.
Yeah, I like the idea that they're just the idea that her younger self, and again, this is like they're so fucking young. It's like I haven't seen her for 2 years since she went into high school. It's just like fuck's sake. But like her younger energy of it's just like, yeah, I'm the main character of the world. It's like I'll fight all evil, and I'm a superhero. And it's just like, yeah, that's not gonna fly once you start being a teenager or an early teen. It's just like they're gonna be like, yeah, this is a cram school. Keep a lid on it, all right? Just don't go crazy.
Yeah, no. Well, it's just isn't like, you know, she's been met with this her boundless enthusiasm, or what do you want to call it anyway. It's kind of met with not even the like ridicule or derision. It was just complete wall of indifference.
Yeah, it's like she's showing them her cool model kits that she got, and they're all just like, yeah, that's great. You know, the other kids, they're not being like, they're I don't care about it. They're not mocking her or anything. They're just like, we are not into that. So she hasn't found like-minded people, because that's what happens when you switch schools sometimes. Yeah, it's rough basically, and it caused her to drop out of school and to lie to her oldest best friend for 2 years. The longest amount of time that these people can imagine.
Yeah.
Everything's 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah, that incident with punched out that idol. Yeah. Get on to that one. They're trying to like cajole her in with this point, saying, no way, man, like, you know, I'll give you some tips. So I'm not going to be any part of this. I can't be. I got too much going on, which is afraid to come out. And coincidentally, doing a school festival, and Mario, her class, they're doing like a rendition of the play. I've forgotten the name of it, but it's the one where like Amaterasu, the sun goddess, she's just hiding in the cave because she's having a big sulk. We got like, you know, oh, let's have a big party outside. And she has a big party outside, she'll come out of the cave and bring light back into the world. It's just like, I see. It's
nice to see the growth in our main character, where she's kind of like, I'll volunteer for this because I feel like I need to put myself out there more, and I need to learn performance and stuff, even though I'm doing the drawing end of our artist collaboration collective kind of thing. So she's like, yeah, I'll volunteer for it. And then the friends later on is like, yeah, she does like a topless dance that makes Amaterasu come out. And she's like, I have to fucking what? Yeah, that's why no one else volunteered to do it. It's described as a silly dance to make the god come out, but you know, it is a silly dance, but yeah, it makes it personal, obviously.
Yeah, but it's like, it all like kind of like it kind of comes out with like, you know, or gets found out about like, you know, oh, you haven't like been like, you know, saying up front with me at all, like what's going on, man? You kind of says, oh, I had to do that, you know, you wouldn't be friends with me otherwise, and you kind of come out like that. So what we gotta do, we gotta do show us a live stream of her doing the play at the school festival, and it's just like, oh, she's embarrassing the fuck out of herself, like, you know, right for the straight, but she's doing it because she doesn't want to let the class down, doesn't want to let people down. It's just like, yeah, well.
And the speech he's making imploring Amaterasu to come out of the thing in the play. As like, you're my friend, you're the light in my life. I want to see you again, that kind of thing. And they're obviously gets the other two girls to live stream it from her phone, that kind of thing. And I was just like, that's good, because she's like, that you look so fucking dumb. That really meant a lot to me. Thank you very much. I was like, oh, it's a good moment.
Yeah, because she has the shields up. I'm behind. I'm behind like my VTuber persona. Like
I'm behind 7 proxies. You'll never find me. Yeah.
It's just like well, like that's still like genuine you out there. Just like fun.
Yeah.
That's acting the gom and talking shite. Like that is you. That's how I know you're like that. Like, and you're happy to share with these people. Like, so just share with everybody. Like, and to want her on because like besides like she's actually one like I've done a bit of everything. She's like for my thing. I know I like rig my stuff, my VTuber thing, so I know a bit of animation. So like whatever you can draw, can probably do some very rudimentary animations, but just give me a few drawings and put it together.
And initially, like she's putting it off because you can see like her life is she's depressed. Like the parents leave money out for lunch, but they're not there, that kind of thing. And the reason why she's kind of helping out now is like, it doesn't say it, but like it has her looking at her subscriber, or not a subscriber, her view history kind of thing, and the numbers are just steadily going down, and it's just like, oh, that's rough when you put your whole self into that. And even Yui's kind of thing of saying to her is like, I don't like you because you told me a lie that seemed bigger than you are. I like you because you lie. You don't give a fuck what other people think, and you come through in the fucking end anyway. Like, you're a decent person. Your lies are fun, but they're not shitty. They're never intended to be like
hurtful.
Yeah, or to assert dominance or any fucking shit like that. Like, it's always just like, I'm being hyperbolic, and then I'm actually a really good sound fucking friend who'll be there for you. And she does, and she makes a little AMV, and that plays on the end credits. I like this. I hope they keep doing this. Actually, that they did that in the next episode.
To do this one as well, like but I mean they need her in because she's the one who has like a realistic idea of doing this day to day, like fucking maybe we kind of got learning how to like fun use like how do I make another track on this
and you once tried to describe it over
it's nearly going like it's far on the computer or it's inside the computer. It's nearly doing that fucking level of it.
Yeah, I think it must have a screw loose in her laptop. It's just like, it's like, it'd be easier if you came down here and just showed us like, I don't really want to make public appearances, but she'd already met up with her friend. She's like, okay, I'll meet up with her. And again, the girls kind of comment on the fact that she has pink hair in a complimentary way. They're not like weirded out by it or anything. It's just like, oh, cool. That's a nice shade, that kind of thing. And they mostly get on, but then it's like them actually in a room together collaborating and the different ideas they have about that and the kind of the thing they run into. Especially with our main singer kind of not explaining why she wants to do this crunch and get it out by the end of the month of the next track.
She just quickly saw her old band, her old idol group. They're back doing the rounds again. They're having to lay a single out on this date or April 5th or whatever it was. Just like
they got a double A side coming out, and I need to. She's not actively trying to compete with them, but she's like, if I don't have that out by then, I'm not doing as well as they are because they're getting back on the fucking horse.
Yeah, she feels
also trying to do that.
She feels in competition. She doesn't let that out at first. Well, I gotta do it, but this day fun saying, and then Kiwi's going, whoa, dear horror cowboy fun, slow down. Well, I'm like, no, like about me, like I don't go to school, I barely go to school, but I still got a stream to do, and these two do go to school. They got school to go to, and she's got music lessons, and she's got fun. They got a part-time job. We can't do this like realistically. Like we got some like.
Because you wanted to meet up like daily or something like that. Yeah. Which is kind of a ridiculous ask.
She's just fun saying, I'll just go out and I'll just go down. I'll sit down to the Combini. Thanks. She's fun out. She goes fun saying she's not going to Combini, is she? No, she's thrown down. But she lives with her sister, who just comes in, latest tale of heartbreak and woe. It's like, I'd give you a beer, give you a strong zero. But say, wait, who are you? Oh, you're the friends like I've heard about who've fucking helped her really pick up her mood lately. Fun saying, yeah, oh yeah, like just kind of lays it all out about what happened with the split from the idol group and everything like that. And how
We still don't know why she punched out another member or what the deal is with that, but like she gives them the rough thing of it. And the thing we've been hinting when we kind of cut to the idol group, where one of them is really mad about their manager. Their manager is these two girls' mom. So she brought in her own daughter to be an idol, and probably pushed her too fucking hard by the sound of it. So yeah, and the man is still managing that band. So I was like, ooh, that's a good conflict. I like that.
And whatever happened right there was probably a dispute, and between
Yes.
like the center of the group who's a little brat and your own daughter, you chose the fun sideline your own daughter. I was like, okay, nice.
Yeah, we don't know the specifics of it yet, but I
Not just
like
yet,
the kind
yeah.
of interpersonal stuff. And I like the fact the sister rolls in fucking drunk, but is a very supportive sister. Other than that,
Yeah,
she's trying to help out.
like fucking her fucking mother was like a top fucking music producer, and like like to be kind of obviously that the circumstances like are probably much more fraught, and I guess like in fairness now her sister seemed to like well, you can come live with me, like I can understand when I get away with it, but by aren't on good terms either. It's something kind of there now, and it's kind of something on my head. Oh, and it's not even that girl group, the fucking the dolls, the fucking what are they called again? Something dolls anyway. Sunflower dolls. They're not doing too good either. They got like really kind of
because they're starting up from a 2-year break essentially. Yeah,
because they don't seem to have like like the leverage of one saying thanks for the cardboard standee, girls, but I don't think it got anywhere I could probably put us. There's one saying, oh, that's a real shame, and just like, oh, hang on, take a phone call. Yes, over here. Yeah, he won't take it. It's a real shame. He's just gotta pull the whole act on.
You gotta push the manager like she's a big enough cog that it's just like he doesn't want to piss her off because that would fuck with him. But the fact that they're using the manager's leverage rather than their own talent because they've been out of the game for 2 years. 2 years out of the game.
Yeah, because it's like it's I guess trying to build it back up, or it's like even if like Jan was kept in the group, wouldn't necessarily be happy because they're still gonna do this grind. Because I kind of see these are the like still professionals or still like doing a TV rounds, getting their things in the shops as well, but they don't seem to be like have the same enthusiasm as the still like gaggle of girls just like trying to do it in their free time.
Yeah, they're actively like giving out about having to push CD shops and physical fucking venues and that kind of shit. It's just like, this kind of fucking sucks. Whereas these girls are like, we're good with coming from scratch and nothing. That's grand for us. But since they heard most of her backstory, they're kind of like, listen, sorry, we're railing on you for that shit. It's cool. Obviously, we can't do this fucking weekly, like coming in every day schedule that you've worked out for us, but we are going to pull it all nighter and get this fucking song done. And they
song
do.
And animation and upload to YouTube. It's just like
they get everything done in the night. They are fucked by the end of it. They are knackered by the end of it. But when they eventually wake from their slumber, they went viral for some reason.
They got nearly 10,000 views, like in a matter of hours. Like, okay,
pretty good going. Yeah.
So what's to happen? Yeah, and this is like we have to kind of like the band together, let's say, or the collective is formed. Like our artistic enclave here, and it's going to strike out for themselves, and we're kind of seeing how they kind of interplay and where they're going to go fall in. Like the boss, like main is be like a composer, but he's kind of I guess she's just learning all the hardware and all the gear, so he's going to be like the fun producer of the whole thing. You can see where that's coming in.
Yeah, and the other thing I quite like is the relationship stuff that they're kind of working on when they're looking for her, when she's kind of went out, she doesn't want to bring up the reason why she wants to get this song done by such and such a date. Like you have the super fan going like, it's like, okay, if I were her, she might be going to this gig that they're fucking doing. That kind of thing is like, and the other one who has been depressed goes like, no, she's depressed right now. So what she'll do is she'll go to that, what was it, tiramisu
shop,
shop that we saw earlier. It's like, because that's what I'd fucking do. And she was buying stuff for them. But so between them, they're actually like figuring out how each other tick, despite essentially being strangers for the most part.
Yeah, and just like Kiwi just has like the ability to kind of rein them in together, but not to kind of like we gotta kind of lay him out, like because this by nature of what I do, I need to know a little bit of everything, and but you then excel and all of that, and This guy, seeing all the kind of falls together like that. It's like seeing them, that collaborative energy kind of coming around, and again, as you say, like we can see the results that they're just played over. It's a very simple, like sprite animation, but it's
sprite
it's quite
animation with the
nicely
flashy
done.
words. And when your one said in one episode, when Kiwi said in one episode, I was like, yeah, I guess I could just use fucking stock images for that. And then there are some stock images in it, and as long as the word lyrics are flashing up, and I was like, that's like. It's very well done, but it doesn't feel professionally done, that kind of thing. And I wonder if that's going to improve as they go along. It's just, it's yeah, I like the format of it.
Yeah, it is laying off a bit of the we'll say more gazy kind of camera angles here because it's fun. We got work to do. We got no time to be funny entertaining you, with fucking like lewd camera angles. You got fucking like get this thing uploaded tonight.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that bodes well. I think it was just for one reason or another, I was looking up Shinichi Watanabe, not the other one, it's the Excel Saga and Rest of guy, and I think he was doing storyboards on either this one or one of these two anyway. Actually,
okay.
It's like, oh, that's like that's what he's doing these days. It's kind of like taking that kind of thing. It doesn't really direct anymore, but he just does like storyboarding, like kind of duties and a lot of different things. So he's still getting his hands in it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then we got Kaiju number 8, episode 2, the Kaiju who defeats Kaiju, and episode 3, Revenge match.
Revengeance.
Did I spell it wrong?
No, it's all right. I just decided. Where what's the thing where they say they pronounce revenge as revengi? Can't remember. Now. This is what's getting on.
I think it's just something that I just like kind of like mispronounce something. It was something like kind of came out myself. I think has anybody else done that? Probably just me, but probably somebody else has. Just by fucking law of averages.
I mean, like Matt Berry leans on that a lot to great fucking effect as well. So
true.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not watching this. You'll tell me all about this as well. It's story time with Nyland Way.
Sorry.
This is a story all about how my life got flipped and upside down. I had escaped from the hospital without destroying it with my amazing monster strength.
And also, while escaping, I had to piss out of my nipples. That's the thing that monsters do. I guess
biology works this way. I need to really go, but we see later on that it breaks off like it's some kind of external like exoskeleton. So did it just like reroute it from his junk up through his nipples?
It rearranged his whole fucking body structure, and then it rearranges it back again because they do manage to escape. But I like the scene later on where it's like, hey, I got this thing totally under control. It's like, you're transformed while having lunch. Fucking cut that shit out. It's like, yes, it's cool. I was just practicing. But the main thing is obviously he's running away from the fucking defense force who are out to fucking get him. But there's a few loose monsters, and he's like, great, that'll distract him. It's like, is that monster gonna like attack people? Like, and like I can't really.
It's just boom, boom. It's going to explode off and listen to fun and say, no, we can't do it. Fun, just trust him to do your job. They'll handle it. It's just like, yeah, he's right. Or then to come across a scene of devastation they can't quite ignore. It's like a mother trapped under rubble and her daughter's trying to pull her mammy out. It's like, oh no, it's so sad. And then another one of those fucking human face spiders rolls up in it again. It's the very kind of regular type one. It's just like, I can't reveal my secret that I'm a kaiju, but if I'm going to be like any kind of like the measure of a man must be in the defense forces, I can't ignore this. So he just fucking starts beating up on this like monster spider, and to some extent he launches it into the air and explodes it, and it rains blood for quite a radius.
I like that he's like okay, because the whole thing he's been trying to hold back because he rips, instead of opening the window to the hospital to hop out, he tears the side wall of the hospital off. That kind of like. It's bad. I don't know my own fucking super strength, that kind of thing. So he's been holding back. He's like, right, I'm gonna really hit this monster, but he does make sure to punch fucking up because otherwise he'll take out a few city blocks. And there's nothing left of that monster besides it's not even paste. It is fucking rain, like you say at this stage.
Blood.
And I like the child is initially like terrified. It's like, oh fuck, like that is the scariest thing I've ever seen. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go. And then she's like, hey, thanks, Mr. Monster. And he's like, I did it. I'm a hero all of a sudden. And yeah, the joke is like, you cannot use this when we're applying for the fucking thing because all those guys are trained to murder guys like you. So
You're
No
probably
use
going to
to
kill somebody if you fucking do that.
that too. Sure.
It's just fun. He's getting it. I think he was like, try giving them a smile. Maybe that'll convince him you're not monster. And say it's like, hey, I'm just one of you, blah, blah, blah. And it's obviously
His
just going
smile
to
goes
work on
into his neck now, so it doesn't look good. So yeah.
it's every tries to do. So like, she's gotta be like, don't tell anybody I was here. But they say, oh, like, are you gonna kill all the kaiju? Yeah, that's right, little girl. I'm gonna kill all the kaiju, but don't kill good Mr. Kaiju. Good Mr. Kaiju who saved you. And then now he's fucking monster face artist rendition is all over the news. It's like, oh, fuck's sake, dude, come on.
So at the end of this episode ends with them going to the
Ends and going in, yeah, to
into
get
the thing, and they meet the brattiest brat you could ever brat, and she uses her super strength suit to throw their van out of the parking space that she wants, even though there's loads of parking space available. She's being a dick, and I was like,
Yeah.
how the fuck did I wasn't thinking so much as like, oh, this fucking Egypt, like, but I was like, how did they resolve that? Like, that's the company van, like they drove here from work, and
Big deal, little girl. I'm gonna do all that and just pick it up and just put it down right here for scene. Ah, you got your own personal suit too, I see. Well, I guess I was right making you be up and be my rival, for some reason or other. It's just like, yeah, that's right. See you out there, kiddo. Use your powers again. Yeah, but I did it under my clothes this time. See, it was pretty slick.
yeah, it didn't make it look obvious that I'm a monster. And a lot of it is the guy initially went for waste disposal because apparently the last 2 years, monster disposal has been part of the exams. He's like, I'll get some practical fucking thing in, and because and that's good because, as they say, like, Kafka is doing very poorly at the I guess the fitness.
Aptitude, yeah,
Yeah.
fitness there too. For say, geez, it's like it's easy to turn 30. It all starts going to shit.
It's like everyone else is like 20s, like late teens and shit, and he's like a 30-year-old man going like, why are they so much better than me? It's like, because he says he has been like exercising and stuff. He didn't slack or anything, but his body's just older. He can't go as good as the younger fellas.
Rubs it in, then okay, everyone trying on super suits made from kaiju muscle fibers now they can like respond to your innate potential for using fun saying, oh, fun life on 14, they got 18 here, ooh, 20, 48 from Kikuru, that's unheard of. She's such a prodigy. Like,
and your man, like the overseer, is kind of like basically like, it's actually really good that we got multiple people over 10. That's going great because you can increase that as you get more accustomed to, as you climatize to it. But like that, a bunch of people are starting over 10. That's fantastic. How you doing there, Cap?
0, huh? Well, I've never seen one of those before.
It's like 0, like nothing. Like that's wild. I've never fucking seen that. He's just laughing. He's all.
He's vice captain like Hoshina, and he's like he's taking his own kind of interest as well. I think he is trying to give him maybe a chance as well to kind of just kind of egg him on. I think he knows this too because he brings like all the dossiers up to I keep forgetting her fucking name.
Yes, I've forgotten it as well. The one that Kafka is like, I'm gonna catch up to you, and I'm gonna be just as good as you. And as she's kind of like,
she's trying to play it cool, just going fun, saying, "Yeah, fun podcast."
Flicking through him, she stops at his one, puts him down, and is like, "Tell me more about the recruits this year." And he's like, "Okay, then." So yeah, he's probably copped on to she is
Mina Asher.
That's it. So she's interested, and she later on comes to view the fucking progress herself in person, which she doesn't have to do. That's not her job.
But she's trying to play it off cool, but she's just as interested. It's kind of wonderful to see where have you been? From we said we're going up, we're gonna make it, gonna climb this ladder. Now you keep trying to show me what you got. She still kind of like believes in him, but she can't let it show. Can't show favoritism in this process. It could change the results.
But it turns out the practical part of the exam is not kaiju disposal, but we have a few loose kaiju here. Small ones.
We'll dispose of them this way, won't we?
A size of a bull type kaiju loose in this little area that we got penned in it. Go nuts. Go take care of them.
Yeah. And that's when they started, obviously when Kikuru was out doing kind of Titanfall 2 wall runs, like shooting monsters up and blowing them up, fun, like kill stealing, the fun saying, oh, wait, that was one of ours. Oh, got it. That's another one for me. Going around again.
And Kafka has correctly deduced, because he's paying attention to shit, because he can't even carry the big gun because it's too heavy for his regular human strength to do. He did say he refused to use the kaiju stuff because everyone else has worked too hard here for him to be like, for him to cheapen their efforts. Yeah, which is like, he's being a decent guy, but he's like, so there's not enough monsters here for us to get scored based off how many monsters we kill. So clearly we're getting, and we all have a personal drone following us around, which means I can't transform, but that means they're watching what we're doing and how we're interacting, so I can provide support. So he's like, hey, that kaiju there, he's shouting to the guys who can actually use the big guns. He's like, the weak point is the stomach, just aim for the solar plexus. And he's like, really? Okay.
Flashbang, fun. I know this one is like, it's got like, very sensitive hearings, very loud noises, will distract it as well. It's like, he's kind of going around, just like again, adapting how the situation, or what can you want to bring onto it.
Yeah.
To get punched through a wall by a monster, just like, yeah, we're doing it, we're boom.
Your overseer guy's like, yeah, I did say we're gonna, if we activate your personal force field, that means you failed the fucking test, and also the force field isn't necessarily going to save you from the kaiju, so this is a very deadly situation. So it's just like, I'm gonna hit the button, Kafka, because it looks like your leg is broken, and according to our vitals thing here, you're let me just check, fucked. Yeah. So gonna have to hit that button. You're gonna automatically fail as soon as I hit that button. But
I can't be left behind. Oh, fun! I've seen all of them just one stream past me, one ghost of their potential just zooming around by, and maybe they're gonna keep on zooming by. But if I stand still, I'm never gonna catch up at all. So I gotta stand, make my stand right here. I got no more time. There's someone I gotta meet.
And then
that was very painful, but we like your moxie.
And then that same girl who's been mocking him for the last 2 episodes shows up to mock him again by attacking the kaiju that downed him, kind of thing. And she's kind of like, come on, show me that potential you showed me in the parking lot. Come on, you gotta prove it to me. I don't know why she's decided to pick on this old man as a as a rival, but yeah.
I know. It's just like of course,
easy target, maybe.
Well, she's just selfish and reckless because she's just going up ahead by herself. I'm going to go for the big score. You always slow me down.
Yeah.
That's kind of for watching it, because it's mentioned too, she comes from like a military family, so this is like expected of her, what she thinks anyway. So
that's why her potential is so high in the first place. Yeah.
Got up to my family name.
A thing besides like the action working quite well, the comedy working quite well, a thing I really enjoyed about the last 2 episodes, the music has been fucking class, man. Like when it kicks in, when something's doing well, I think it does a great fucking job.
Yeah, it's been there's so many things kind of early on that I've forgotten about, like based on where it is from reading this like right now. Besides it's transformation on control, there's one, it's just done for a gag, but it's just like they could always come back to that for some reason if they wanted to. We try to get it under control. He's just like, this fucking like writhing mass of inchoate flesh, while they're trying to escape from the hospital. And saying, dude, you gotta calm that down. I don't know how. It's this fucking abomination like crawling down the street.
Yeah, it needs to focus it into the muscle man form, so they could do other forms out of it. And it feels like that kind of power upgrade potential that they could lean into if they wanted to.
Come back to it was just something that was just done for a gag, but maybe it could be relevant down the line.
Yeah.
And just pissing off at nipples or whatever nipples would be. It's like, he's just skull face monster man. It's gonna make him look humiliate him as much as we can, because he's still like this oaf underneath it, a well-meaning oaf, but an oaf nonetheless.
Yeah. While still maintaining the fact that he is going to be useful to these guys, despite like I don't think it would happen in the comic, but like his potential rises to not 1% or anything, 0.01%. And the director's like, "Whoa, I've never seen that before either." But that's because we've never seen 0%. So okay, I guess it's not entirely 0. It was just so fucking low. Our detection things could not read it.
Let's see what he does. Yeah, we'll see what he does next time. We kind of know what he does, but it's nice to see it again.
But how they render it, yeah.
Then we got something I did watch: Go Loser Ranger, episode 3, Our Evil Will Bloom, and episode 4, The Soldier with Love.
Well, it's my turn to take a break.
Monster man.
It's my turn to take a break. This is one I forgot about both times.
So these pair of episodes are basically establishing the difference between Suzukiri and Sakurama. So the first one is all about Foot Soldier, the teaming with Suzukiri, because after he rejects your other lad's attempts to befriend him, So Sakurama's thing is, I just want humanity and the monsters to live in peace. So I'm going to need to change the Dragon Keepers from within to achieve this.
It's the idea that I'm gonna break the system. I'm gonna work within the system to rehabilitate it. Basically, they both think the system is broken, but they both have wildly fucking different takes on what should be done about it.
Yes, whereas
Like
Suzukiri's is a lay foot soldier. You want to fight these people. I want to fight these people. We've got this in common. And this foot soldier sees this. He sees a commonality to a degree with Suzukiri. So she appears to be nastier than he is, which is part of the problem he's got. And she explains that the only reason the Dragon Keepers are in the position they're in is because they have these things called divine tools. And if they don't have these 5 divine tools anymore, they won't be able to do anything. How do we get them? Well, the only time they can't use the divine tools, because the divine tools let them kill immortal monsters, is when they're doing the Sunday showdown.
Because they're down here, so they leave their divine tools in their various fortresses. So break in, steal the tool, bish bash bosh, and we know what fucking time because it's regularly every fucking Sunday.
Yep. So he breaks in. He has a run-in with the guy who paints his face like a clown.
He has dressed himself like the Red Keeper at this stage because it's like, oh, you're back home early from the show. He's like, yes, absolutely. I'm in charge. I'm meant to be here.
So he goes in the storage room and he notices he finds the divine tool shoved haphazardly in a golf bag along with a load of golf clubs.
Yeah, and it's like, wait, so it was locked in a locker, like with a bunch of like contraband, but he also did just store it in with his golf clubs.
Because when Suzukiri gets it later, she has it laid out formally as if it's some sort of divine object that ought to be taken care of and not.
Yeah, like it's in a scabbard in a, I presume, a place she prepared before, or not a scabbard, a mount basically. That you'd see a sword on, whereas obviously the red guy was just like, I'll put it in my golf clubs so I can improve my game, which is, and it really gets across what a shit the fucking red guy is in the next episode as well. If you didn't think he was a shit already, he's more of a shit. It's just even more than you could think of. Yeah.
He beats the guy up who's dressed as the Joker, escapes through the ventilation, and then runs straight into the Red Ranger, the Red Dragon Keeper, and the rest of the Dragon Keepers on the roof.
I did appreciate that your man just like, I detected you weren't the actual guy and you were a faker. And this is like, I was like, well, if you keep shooting me, and it's like, if you keep shooting me, he just kept shooting him with his laser gun. It's like, I have a bunch of sticks of dynamite. It's like, whoa, hold on, pal. He's like, all right, now I'm going to beat you with a fucking golf club because you kept fucking shooting me.
Because the clown guy's going, the reason we fight so hard against you monsters is because we could die. So that's where we come from. And then Foot Soldier D turns it on him and says, how about some of that fear of death that you love so much? He's waving the dynamite.
Yeah. It's very like cartoon bunch of dynamite, and he literally has to take a match to it. This isn't anything fucking fancy. I don't know. Like, he apparently does have a bunch of sticks of dynamite. Where he fucking got those, I don't know, but it's fun. But yeah, the Red Ranger meets him on the roof. It's like, hey, you got my golf club, I see. Give me it back.
They have a long argument over who's going to kill this guy, and what's best for.
They're also stalling until the cameras get there, because it's like, we can't kill this guy until the cameras get here, so it shows that we're taking care of the loose monsters that get away. That we are heroes of justice.
And they try to let him. They decide on a plot where they're going to let him escape this time, but Foot Soldier D refuses. And so he gets attacked from behind by the Blue Dragon Keeper, who has his divine tool with him. And they go back and forth, and they appear to have won. They appear to have killed Foot Soldier D, or very least sent him back to the UFO.
Because I mean, there was the whole thing of him like chopping off his arm and him leaping over because they were fighting on like a water tower, I think, at that stage, and he goes to grab the divine artifact rather than grab his own fucking arm, and it's like, well, here's my divine tool. Shit, that was his arm disguised as my divine tool. Oh, I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm fucked.
Which is where we lead into the second episode 4. Is they figured out he's either floating back to the UFO, or if there was a wind, he's gone he's in these woods somewhere.
And
So,
also the divine artifact is there. So if you could find him and the divine artifact, that'd be great.
and they're having this discussion over a dinner where they're all making jibes at each other. The second in command of the Red Battalion tries to take over the role of the Red Dragon Keeper and gets pounded into the wall.
You've shown that you're unfit for the role of the lead Red Dragon Keeper because you lost your divine artifact. Because basically, you got them all to the big banquet hall. It's like, hey guys, I lost my magic weapon. Sorry. He's like, you've shown that you're not fucking fit for the role. And he's like, oh yeah, what about my super strength? Pulverizes him into the wall and then starts eating his sushi while covered in blood. He's like, ooh, this is really fucking good shit, actually.
We see the Suzukiri is like second in command to the Yellow Dragon Keeper and is being accused of being his mistress by other second commands.
I think the blue guy says it's like, that's your partner or your kind of thing, and she's like, that just proves that you think that's the relationship you have. And his one is a young girl, so that's like, not good, not a good look, blue.
Yeah, so we get like a bit more of their characters here, and yeah, the blue's going to take care of it. So sends a guy who's incredibly nervous. Meanwhile, Foot Soldier D has been found by Sakuraba, and because he got hit by the divine tool, Foot Soldier D's got a wound that he can't heal until Sakuraba points out how he might be able to heal it. He doesn't know this, he just figures it out. He's like, okay, you can take parts of your body off and move them around, so why don't you just take a bit of your arm and use it to fill in the hole in your chest?
I think that the reason given why he survived at all is because he wasn't whole at the time. I mean, like, one of his arms was chopped off, so, but he can't fully reform and he's leaking dust the entire time. And also he's getting information out of D by constantly talking, he's like, I'm not going to tell you my name, get away with that. It's like, oh, so what's your plan? It's like, I'm going to defeat them. And it's like, oh, you're going to defeat them, then you're going to be the big bad. It's like, yeah, I'm going to be Fighter D, the best fucking guy. It's like, all right, Fighter D, I'm writing that down. It's like, don't fucking, like, he's tricking him into revealing information to his benefit, but still.
Yes, and then we get some of Sakuraba's background about how his justice is from his parents, who were very religious and believed that everything was happening because it had to happen in the natural order of
when
things.
It was just a thing, I was just like, oh, you're not watching that Dragon Fighters show, that it's all violence. And I was like, oh, it's against Jesus or whatever. I was just like, oh yeah, religious parents, that's fine. And it's like, oh, they're in a cult. Okay, yes. Okay, it's that one.
The thing they worship is one of the leaders of the aliens army, who we saw at the end of episode 3. He's alive. He's wandering around the streets killing people. And that does not get brought up again in episode 4.
I was like, is that one of their leaders, or was that the monster of the week from so many years ago that showed up as like, hello, it's me, your god. Zap, all of you cunts are dead.
You're walking to heaven now.
Yeah, and the god sees himself and his sister, and he's just freaking out because he sees his parents dead on the floor, and the god's like, oh fuck, forgot to send you guys. Don't worry, I get right on that, and I'm gonna shoot my laser beam. And that's when he decided, as a small child, I'm gonna stand up for justice and fight evil monsters that try and kill people. No idea how he fucking survived that whole situation. But
I think his older sister pushed him out the way, and then the building fell on her legs.
I mean, like, the god was still there is the problem I'm saying. It's just like, he seemed very intent on killing everyone in that cult for god reasons.
Yes,
I guess.
I think there'll be, because we know that so this is 13 years ago, so it's questionable as to whether the Dragon Keepers of 13 years ago were all the same ones who are around now. I would guess not, given the youth, at least what we've seen of the Red
and
Keepers
given that they have a whole system of guys who are in line to replace you, it seems like they are. There is we know this has happened once, because otherwise, why would you think you can be Dragon Keeper number 1 after 13 years of it being the same guy as Dragon Keeper? Yes,
because we there's some discussion between the pair of them about what was the rank of that guy who dresses like a panda, as he refers to him as, and he's like, he's like the fifth. He's like the 5th rank guy. And he's like pushing that he's succeeded in meeting a 5th rank guy. And then when they meet the guy who's been sent to look for him, he asks him what his rank is, and he's disappointed to learn that this guy's he's a lower rank than that last guy. Though what he does have, though, is a divine replica. So the top level have the actual divine tools, the real artifacts, but they equip the lower levels with replicas of them.
And it's while it mightn't be good enough to kill one of the boss monsters, who fucking cares? They're all dead. You're just low fucking rank fighter D, very easily killable by my cool bone side. So yeah.
So there's a lot of back and forth. Sakuraba tries to lead him away. He gets threatened. He's like, "You better make sure you find him this time. We're going to cut your head off." A bit of foreshadowing for when later he cuts his head off, or rather, he cuts the mask that he got him to make of. Basically, they swap places.
And your man was thinking, like, okay, he can change shape. We know that because he was as a guy. So I don't know if him holding his knife hand to the human guy is he himself, or is he the human guy pretending to be the other guy? And it's like, I don't know which of them is the real fucking fighter, so I'm just gonna kill them both. That's my plan. Is like, your man's like, I already called in the guys. He's like, oh, I can't kill one of the junior members in front of one of the other guys. All right, I'll put down my side, kind of thing. But it was the idea that they pretended to switch places but didn't actually switch places. And it's established by your man going, it's like, so to help you get away, I'm just going to laser sword my own arm off. And your man's like, Jesus Christ, your arm doesn't grow back like my one. What are you doing? He's like, no. You give me your hand. And that way it can look like your hand chops off. So he thinks I'm you, but actually you're you. And you're going to pretend to be me. And then you're going to get into them dressed as me because I'm already part of that organization.
Yes, because it looks like he cuts the head off, but it's actually Sakuraba mask from previously. He falls off, and now we zoom in on Sakuraba, and then we see like the dust, and then we get the flashback of how they pulled this trick off in the first place. So now going forward, D is Sakuraba for all intents and purposes for the current storyline.
And the way it seems to be saying is like, I'm going to take him down from the inside, whereas the real version of him is like, I'm going to reform them while being a rogue fucking agent, essentially, while not being in the organization. I was like, I don't know how he's planning on doing this, but this is a guy who chopped off his arm for his on-the-spot fucking plan, so he might have some more crazy in him, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he sees the goodness in Foot Soldier D that D does not see it in himself. But D does come back to save him. That's the thing.
It's proven basically to him, yeah.
Proven in the episode that D is not as rotten as he makes himself out to be.
And he's at the very least, he's not as rotten as the dragon guys, because they're just like, the whole organization is fucked.
Red's the only one who's thoroughly showed himself to be.
I mean, he murdered a guy in front of everyone else, and nobody fucking said anything about it. So that's I mean, like, they're all complicit then, basically. So
they may not want to get hit in the head either. There's a couple of other. There's some stuff with yellow, little bits with yellow and green that I'm guessing are going to get drawn out as goes along. But it seems mainly focuses on red and blue at the moment.
Yeah.
Like red is portrayed as like he's the what's the guy from The Boys, Homelander.
Yeah. I am in charge of this place with sheer fucking brutality.
He's the face of it, I think.
Yeah. The leader just by sheer fucking strength, it seems. Nothing else.
Who seems to be acting as his thug, but doesn't seem to do anything without Red telling him to do a thing. And the others are more concerned about how they look on TV.
They're concerned with the game of it, yeah.
Green and yellow, particularly. I don't think we've got much for pink at all yet.
She's kept it fairly close to the chest so far. She's trying to stay out of the interbickering, seemingly.
It's out that they keep on just picking random fighters. So maybe we should stop doing that as the way to end. We shouldn't end the fight on beating up a fighter.
A random fighter. It needs to end on us beating the monster of the week, not like some random fucking guy. That's not a good look. It's not exciting. It's not. That's why they were discussing the storyline. I was like, what if we let him get away? It's like, then he'd be like a recurring fucking villain. That's a new fucking trick. We could try that. And D was just like, nah, I'm here to kill you guys. Because he's not playing by the rules, basically, yeah.
No, and yeah, he occasionally acts against his own best interests because of his determination to dominate the world.
So actually inserting him as a guy who's already in the organization means you do have to behave to the rules of the organization now in order to progress and in order to achieve your goals of defeating them eventually. So it actually makes him more focused while pretending to be a completely other guy. Yeah.
And we got Train to the End of the World, episode 4, Why You Hiding Your Butt, and episode 5, I'll Be Reduced to Bones.
There's your
That was-
answer.
A very worrying titled episode 4, because I was just like, you're not gonna go all fucking weird on me, are you? Come on, don't do it.
It's going to play anywhere. It's going to play weird in other ways. And
The
you've got
regular,
wondering,
the good weird, yeah.
it's 30 stops to Ikebukuro, or 29 then with that stuff off. How am I going to get it there in this one episode? It's just like, well, you have times where there's like, in this first one, it's like, let's get off here. Oh, there's like a ghost house here, like anthropomorphized ghost, and they're attacking the train. Nope! You just open this door again. Okay, there's a field full of like roots of plants here. They're all growing face and they're cackling at us. That's really fucking okay. Nope. Okay, let's keep on moving down the track. Let's keep on going. 6 stops away. It's just
Miserable and has a mushroom going on her, which is kind of the opposite way the mushroom's working for the people in the town.
It's making her okay with the situation, like she's really lethargic, but not. She's gone kind of dopey with it, yeah.
So we get at Musashi Kote, we get goats. This is real. There are goats at that station.
there is, yeah.
There's not little centaur men that fucking headbutt the train as you pass through the station, but yeah.
They decide to start taking turns at driving so they don't ever have to stop the train. They can.
I mean, like we've hit several stops now where we really don't want to stop the train, so I think that's a good idea.
Like the next place is just full of craters. Then at Koba, there's giggling root vegetables.
There's one where it's like they're in a galaxy of like internal organs floating in the sky.
Yeah, it was full fucking like
wood people.
Yeah, that's where they have to change the tracks, basically. Yeah.
Yes, they pull the mushroom off Akira's arse. It runs across the carriage, screams, and explodes.
I know it's a cartoon, but that was very cartoony, and I did appreciate it. So yeah.
Doesn't solve your problem though.
No, because she's now turned into a child.
You pulled something essential out of her with that mushroom. Its roots were deep. This is bad. So it's like, hey, guy, clank, 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 clank. What do we do about mushrooms? Mushrooms. I know about mushrooms. Here's everything I know about mushrooms within 5 minutes. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah, we know about that. Like, well, if it goes part of there's a doctor in the park, or wherever they hear that from.
You hear it from him that there's a doctor with a foul mouth in Nariyama Park.
And like, yeah, he goes into like detail about his relationship with the doctor. It was like, yeah, we went to school together, and there was this whole thing with a recorder incident, and it's like, that's bullshit though. Don't fucking listen to any of that. Choo 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 choo. And it's just like, fucking, just stop it. Fucking, oh my god. It's funny. As a recurring joke, it's funny every fucking time. But
I'm not going to get into it, but if you must insist.
Yeah.
Working toilet. Think about the next station. The following station has talking Jesus statues.
I didn't like the working toilet in the following station because it was only buildings, and I was like, did everyone turn into buildings? Did you just shit in a person? I don't fucking know. Let's move on from that fucking station. Yeah.
Then the next station has just loads of giant digestive organs floating in the sky.
Let's keep going past this place. Let's not even fucking open the doors, just in case.
A good thing we're all taking turns, because she's gonna sleep and not have to see this. We have to know.
Nariyama Park. They get there. The station's empty. There's no town.
Yeah, it's just green fields either side. But if you look into the distance, it's like, oh, there's the town over there. It's just across this field. So we can go to that town, find the doctor.
It's far away and it's small. That's not how it usually works.
Yeah. So they leave one of the girls and the dog there because she's given the dog a funny name.
Anthony.
Anthony. And just squeezing its face is like, Anthony, you understand me better than anyone else. So yeah, we got our other two girls going to the town, and They're kaiju now, I guess, technically.
They
Yeah.
get attacked by enemy stand user, bad company.
And this
Like,
was the point.
oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, yes, this is a bit like Gulliver's Travels.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, as
yeah,
soon as they got tied to the arm, to the blades of the helicopter behind me, phone said, "Oh, it's gone full Gulliver's Travels." Okay, yeah.
yeah. It knows what it's doing.
Get that one of the exotic, crazy places that they visit in Gulliver's Travels is Japan. That's
So what if they go? One of the stations is the most Japan you've ever seen? That kind of a. I guess if they're doing full Gulliver's Travels, what's the one? There's obviously little people and giants. Everyone remembers that one. But there's horses that are people, I think, as
Horses are
well.
people, and then like the people who are more like animals.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like that was the first place. So yeah, we're good. The people turning into animals, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I count for talking horses too. I don't know.
We didn't see any horses.
and this is
If
the
only we could
episode where
talk to the goat men.
the
Yeah,
flashbacks are Akira being horrible to Raimi
Raimi.
and tricking her into eating half a textbook.
So she'd remember it. Pretty clever.
And the reveal that everything that's happening to them was stuff that Shizuru, when she was younger, wanted to happen to her.
It's kind of weird. There's also like a thing of them at, I think it's at the start of the next episode, after they end up attacked by the tiny military, and I like they're just like, the bullets itch, and they do have like missiles that knock them out because they're filled with crazy knockout gas. But at the start of the next episode, we get that flashback where they're doing some sort of martial art thing where they turn and point bows at each other, and then one just starts beating the shit out of the guy.
It's an archery competition, like, you know.
Can you do that? Can you just beat him with the bow, though? That seems...
I don't know, but they're going like, yeah, that's it, the disco, fucking fun. Not go for stick to the plan, yeah, fucking get her ass. they're all like shot by us. It's not like, no, oh yeah, we helped her train, and this is the strategy we come up with. Just go in there and knock the shit out of your opponent.
Yeah, it's the world was not fully there before the 7G incident, was it? It was particularly.
I mean, like, it's not now, so yeah.
This is how they do it in rural towns, you know? This is their own way of life.
With Pontaru later on in this episode, the flashback to him doing the wibble wobble surgery.
Fucking hell, that's our... It's like, because it's a kaiju movie now with two small schoolgirls being the kaiju. That's the horror element of this episode. I was just like, we got to have one horrific thing happen at least once an episode.
Yeah. So essentially, what's happened in this town is
Standard Fists and Rockstar thugs have moved in, set up, like, you know, where it was fine, but then like a bad guy came in and took over, and now they were run by themselves. We were just like, you know, the downtrodden like populace who would do all the real work slaving around.
I did appreciate the map, like showing like the town initially expanded and then contracted, and you just see the train station stay where it is, and I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
So yes, they talk about this boss, and then like halfway through the episode, the reveal is that the boss is another person who is normal size but shorter than the average man.
I assume he's a child by the thing of it, like
I would guess
around the same age as them, probably. Yeah, yes. But to them, a giant man, basically. Yeah.
Yes, he's shorter than the two girls are who are rampaging through the city. After they're freed from their helicopter by a cleaner, when they explain that, well,
because the threat to them from the military is like, you two girls stop bickering on that helicopter, I'll keep spinning the blades, and we're gonna display your skeletons at the museum. And they're just like, if we do that, we'll die. It's just, and everyone's like, if I don't fucking keep this place clean, they'll display my skeleton at the museum. That's a standard fucking threat. Yes. And they're like, oh, I gotta pee.
I got piss everywhere. I was trying to pick it off a mess. Don't do that. I just got to put my skeleton upside the machine. Well, you got two choices then. You either get pissed on and get skeletonized, or you can help us and get skeletonized. Pick one. I think I'll help you and not get pissed on. Thank you. And
their stealth sneaking mission through the town as giant girls, like kind of like, you know, crawling behind buildings and that kind of stuff. I was like, this is a very funny version of Metal Gear Solid that I would love a version of, but yeah.
What it turns more into later on is a funny version of fucking Evangelion.
Yeah.
When Raimi goes on a full rampage, he's just flipping around, climbing buildings and jumping off of things.
Well, yeah, they get you. They make sure they put the King Kong shot in as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. You got it.
They rescue Dr. Makoto, who's the doctor who they referred to earlier. She's not a medical doctor, though.
I'm a
She's a science
scientist.
doctor.
So,
But luckily, this
well,
is a science problem, and it's a psychosomatic condition. So you just got to convince her that eating mushrooms will restore her soul.
yeah, she's mission apart because you ripped it out with the mushrooms. So make her eat a mushroom, and it'll restore the bit.
Only got mushrooms in the boss's room.
Yep, of course. And the other girl has been captured, and he's trying to, I guess, woo her with these cool arcade games that he has. These tiny people pedaling bicycles to run.
Dude, I'm not into you. I like fucking like Aikido fucking flipped dude onto the floor like literally like a half hour ago. So
Listen, I want to meet my best friend, and I want to fight an anteater. Those are my fucking goals in life, and that has nothing to do with whatever this shit is. Okay. Damn.
yeah, but he's kind of big thing. Oh, I just want some friends. I just want to feel like a big man because I'm kind of pathetic.
I think bases are real cool. That's why I rolled into this town as a giant and took it over with martial law and constantly threatening everyone with skeletonization. Just like, I don't know, man.
That
Seems
was
like
the
a dick
best of
move.
us.
Dear.
Now for that shit, here comes Raimi, just blowing stuff up. Makes a crucial mistake of like, in their assault then of snapping the friendship bracelet that Akira gave her, and that's when she goes, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," and he says, "Oh shit," he's kind of fucking just running away from him, like get launching missiles, get the scrambled the little tiny jets to go after her and everything, but she's not having any of it.
Like the shot of her like a jet kind of coming in to try and sweep the leg on her, and she just hops over it and stuff, and her like dodging the missile. It's like, you won't fucking catch me that way twice, and then her just going ballistic, like tearing up a electricity pole and just like whacking fucking shit and kicking over tanks, and it's just like, this is great, this is good shit.
Then at the end of it, like she was gonna fucking like fun slap her off or a fun say she's like, "Oh, it happened again, didn't it?" Just something happened before.
Just the devastation of the town. Yeah, it happened again. Just, I mean, like, I assume she wasn't quite as destructive when she wasn't technically giant, but
I don't know. She was always sweeping into her for Akira. That's what Akira, like, even in her lowest day was thinking. It's like, I know they'll have her back yet. Rainbow will come by and always beat the shit out of the buddies who were making fun of me. And yeah, she did do that. She does this a lot.
And she also resolved the situation by, it's like, my friend has not been cured by mushrooms. You stupid friend, I'm going to stuff this Marquis the Sad book down your fucking throat. How do you fucking like it? It's like, actually, I fucking think you're an idiot for doing that. It's sadistic. You should look that up with your tiny fucking pea brain. It's like, it works. We filled her back with her sadism. Fantastic. The day is saved.
So you put the boss on an island, and Dr. Makoto is going to travel back to Agano to try and cure Zenjiro, because we see in the flashback he had the Wibble surgery, which is probably why he's behaving like he is. Wibble surgery is having a drill
in your brain.
in Japan.
They've done something to his brain, and it was going to do it to her, but he fought off the guards and it's like, save yourself, as he's getting drilled in the head. And I guess that makes sense, whatever the Wibble Wobble surgery is, to turn him into a strange old choo-choo man, rather than him turning into an animal as everyone else from that town has done.
Well, yeah. as was like highlighted there, it's like it's kind of based on your perception of yourself. So people are probably changing forms based on just like, that's why there's sort of different kind of region differences. Just like, it's their perception of themselves in relation to whatever else. Like,
in one town you might be very fond of those goats, you become the goats. In this town, it's like, this town's a pretty small town when you think about it. You shrink. In this town, we're basically beasts. You turn into a monster eventually, or an animal eventually, a random animal, but still.
But it's again that things that Chijuru said wanted to do, and then seemed to be kind of going through them. So how far does that perception extend?
Yes. Yeah.
How great of an area can one person affect, and like, do these effects converge, and do they kind of lead to these weirder, more bizarre from dimensions, I suppose, that they're going through?
And I did like you said, Brian, the 2 episodes of it. The first one being like lots of terrible places, let's not fucking be there, and then the second one being is like, we got a good idea for like a full episode here, so we're gonna like go the whole thing with
A
it.
lot happened, and I thought, oh, they're never gonna wrap this up now. But no, don't find this out. I mean, like they got like get through your stops pretty quickly. Kind of like zips to the end. Maybe they fucking will, but it's like no, we got wrapped up. Everything in. We've dropped some serious information about a lot of different like angles of this.
So yeah, these 2 episodes are written by Shigeru Murakoshi, who we know from Zombieland Saga. They're the main writer on that. What else have we watched of theirs? Dark Gathering.
Wait a minute. Is everything this guy's written like some sort of action, like secret Japanese tourism fucking thing? Because this is like going like the train route. Saga's pretty cool. And then this is all the haunted spots in and around the place. Like fucking, it's all fucking tourism. You can't fool me.
Gymnastic Samurai. I think that's the other thing of that.
Okay, that's not really about tourism. Yeah.
Lupin Part 6. I guess that's about tourism, but he didn't write the tourism half. He wrote the second half.
Well, that went different places, but some of them are fictional countries, though. So
that's the other thing. It was,
but the first half of Part 6 is definitely. Oh, I like London. London likes me.
That's true. Yeah.
It's where Sherlock Holmes is from. That's Training in the World. It's fantastic.
It's good. It's like I feel like just the interplay, like the fun. It starts to have like real arguments, like at inappropriate times, and particularly when they're tied to the helicopter, and it's just like, okay, what are you girls here for? It's just like, well, what do you want to know? Funty? Well, let's have your no, Remy, don't leave with that. What? Why not? No, he got one each through the negotiation. He was being a dick. I know he was being a dick, but he doesn't know why you do it. There's like, no, you're just having your own argument, ignoring the fun little dude in the tank. It's just like, hey, come on.
I'm torture interrogating you, giant girls. Pay attention. It's just, but they're too busy.
And they keep breaking off of that, like, particularly Remy and Akira. It's just like, they just like, we can't focus on like, this bizarre situation we're in right now, but they can't break off. It wouldn't be weird if this happened, and it's just they just go off on these tangents, and it's kind of like that, that this is how it would be fun to be natter in a way. Like to take it all under stride, in fairness to them.
Then we got Root of OddTaxi, episode 4, All Kinds of Dads, and episode 5, 22 p.m. in Tokyo.
Yeah, I was on to say 22 p.m. rather than 12 p.m. or 2200 hours. I was just like, why is it that?
It is really late. It's just 10 p.m.
It's tomorrow.
I was trying to. I think I remember the general. We get some interesting information in 4 that the dad of Yuki has another daughter and another illegitimate daughter. I'm thinking, are they going to? Is that going to be who our series villain will turn out to be?
That's why they were so similar. That's why they were the same kind of cat to Otakawa, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she's stealing the life she should have had.
Yeah, I think that's the way it's if it's not the way it's going, it's the way it's suggesting it's going to go based on watching the show.
And I'm fine with that, because that's kind of the one thing OddTaxi lacked, is a motivation outside of being a psychopath.
Yeah, because we weren't following the story of the villain. We were following the other fucking characters, basically.
But that's again how it's just sketching in. It goes like the Don, it just seemed like this like guy in the fringes, but actually no, he's dude is mobbed up. He happens to be kind of mobbed up with these guys who were like in a lot of these things. What struck me too as well is that like, oh yeah, we're dealing with like a Yakuza like outfit here, but they seem sort of like kind of low rent, like they're kind of like really trying to push this very middling like idol group that got a little bit of a hand in that, and just looking for.
The thing I'm thinking with it is like they were like the rough, tough Yakuza thing back when our monkey boy went to prison, and they've cleaned shit up. They've taken that money, and they're not just trying to make it clean money. They're using the money to do clean operations. They are doing legitimate building. They are doing legitimate idol groups. They have their fingers in many pies that are going to earn the money without you cracking heads, dude. Could you just stop cracking heads for like 5 goddamn minutes?
I
We
guess
don't
it
do
takes
that
time,
anymore.
but they seem like they're in a very kind of transitionary phase, and it does seem
Yeah.
like like we're not really rolling the dough like what we used to be. We had to kind of spend some money to make some money. Like when are we
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
make some of that money? Oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course we know, if you've watched OddTaxi, is that some of these people have covered up a murder.
Hmm.
And
And the
those are
question
the guys
is,
who are keeping the fucking heads down, because we have our. Again, I'm going to refer to them as their animals, which makes it more confusing. You have the polar bear kind of saying to your man, is like, "Hey, boss, what about that?" And he's like, "Shut the fuck up! Don't mention that fucking girl whose body we dumped. Don't fucking mention that here in the middle of this fucking meeting with the Don. That would be bad."
yes, because I'm like, does the tapir know about that? Because that's never clear in
Yeah.
OddTaxi of like how much he's been filled in on things. Because I suspect not, because I suspect he'd somehow murder them all if he did find that out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and feels like that's why they're trying to shut the fuck up about it, because it's like he will revert to the old ways on us if we fucking reveal how much we fucked up, basically. Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Dobu's ready to go right now.
Hmm.
He
Yeah,
likes
I'm going
Dobu.
to say yes. I think he would be the one that he would get to do the murdering.
He's rearing to go for sure.
Because he was not involved in that murder of a idol that they've covered up.
They're probably keeping Dobu around for that specific purpose, or that kind of purpose. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what else happens in 4. Like lots of pressuring about what Dobu did. Dobu break your finger?
Like
What do you do with
she's got
Dobu?
him pegged immediately. It's like, you're trying to readjust the fucking focus of this case to Otakawa, and it's just like, why? He's like, everything it says is just, he's just a taxi driver who is in the local area and therefore has gotten involved in this. It's not him.
Yeah.
Involved in this experience or anything.
The awkward dates happens in 4 as well.
Oh my god,
Oh,
it's uncomfortable no matter what the fuck you do. Yeah.
Oh, that's just because I think they're splitting up, and they're kind of like, because they get like Kenon, Rena's friend, to kind of help them out on a stakeout, and they go, "Oh, here's they're coming out right now. Come on, we each just follow one and just see where they go to, and Rob kind of reconvene later."
Kenon's my favorite new character, essentially. Maybe she was in it before. I don't know what animal
I think
she was.
she's in it before because in 5, because Reed then starts working at the hostess club, and then in episode 5,
Yeah.
they're going to go to the idol competition, and I think we see them in the background of some of the scenes at the TV station when we're following the Manzai group around.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the 4 most leads up to like what's the agency called again?
The detective agency.
Ichu.
God, I can't think of the name of it. Yeah.
I forgot his name. Anyway, it's fun that the one dude whose agency that it is says, "Okay, you're getting fucking stepping on too many toes. Like if I told you not to,
I told you you're off the case.
either you're off the case now, or you fun simplify you're off the case, or you're out of here." Upon saying, "Well, you can't fire me. I quit."
Also, I quit in a way that allows me to use
but
all
I'm
of your.
yes,
All
and
of the,
Sato
Also,
as
Sato
well.
is quitting as well. Yeah.
He's like, no, he's not. It's like, also, I'm gonna still use my desk, my computer, your database. I'll pay for it, obviously. And he's like, "Grand, I just can't fucking protect you." And it's just like, that's bad, because we know basically she's been surviving a lot because he's just going like, he's safe. People who work for him are safe. That's why your man's shitting himself. It's like, fucking Dobu broke one of his guys' fingers. Fucking hell.
That's why, yeah, he's got to go straighten it out with him, and
yeah. But now she doesn't work for him. I mean, she's still solving the case, but she's doing it of her own fucking volition. She has to get a part-time job to pay for using the equipment at the detective agency, essentially.
Yeah, but that's where Sarah runs into her, because like, he's getting the champagne service in the hostess club. It's like, so sorry, spend your time nowadays. Yes, I got work, got to work, but I'm following the lead.
Yeah,
this guy Imai, he's been like, he won like $1 billion yen the lottery the other week, and he's just been posting about that every fucking where. So I'm like, see what the deal is with him.
It's funny to see the other characters in this, all of them reacting like, why the fuck would you say out loud that I have won $1 billion fucking yen? That's a target. You're painting a target on yourself.
That's just online. That's not real.
And well, and also it's been just being said and repeated offhand by so many people as well. What is way eventually to fucking Kakihana after everyone gets hauled into the van is just like here's what is dropped to say anything about like, oh yeah, it's gonna win like $1 billion yen in the lottery. Everyone saying, oh what? And now suddenly you have their fucking next target to go after.
Oh, Kakihana, man, he's the most pathetic he's ever been, even in the original fucking show. This guy is fucking killing it at being just a real sad sack. He's so good.
It's probably the human face of it, you know.
It is. He just manages the sadness
abstracted
better.
when it's an ape, but like it's like, oh no, and they're not falling for it. You know, they know you're at home, and they say, oh, I guess he's not at home. Must we better go? And you know to wait outside the van for you.
Yeah, I think episode 5 as well is the one where we get a lot more time with Odakawa, and then you're reminded of like, oh yeah, just his problem is he sees everyone as animals, but beyond that, he's super sharp and he knows who he is.
Well, probably because he sees people animals, that's why they're so distinct to him. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
oh, I haven't seen one like you around, Ms. Renner. One saying, what one like me? Like, well, I've seen the rabbits, but you're like a Polish
rabbit.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. It must be his
And,
way
like,
of like, you know, fucking like remembering people, I suppose.
Yeah, and it's just like it's kind of like weird because all the other hostesses are kind of like it's like what the fuck, and then as she's questioning him more and trying to get information on him, he's like, so you do know what the fuck is going on, but you don't know what people look like. It's like okay, you know, putting the pieces together. Or he knows a bunch of information. He knows a bunch of interconnected things because he's the taxi driver. Yeah.
Yes, it's like I picked a black cat up, but it wasn't that black cat.
Yeah. He recognizes the difference, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, as you say, we get the kidnapping. For the what did they call it in the TV series of that particular scam?
Oh, it's a
It's one of a marriage scam, but it's like engagement scam.
what's it called? A honey badger scam? Oh,
yeah, something like that.
Some kind of animal.
It's an animal name. Yeah.
Yeah, to fit with the theme.
A badger game.
Badger game. That's it.
Yeah.
Sato and the chief have a discussion about Rina, and then he gives away that he's learned things later on at the end of the episode because he's a fucking dipshit.
His conversation with the chief, like the way they kind of like suddenly light his face and light your man's face, I was just like, this is so good at how looming threat this is. It's
again, this is why like just had the little scene right there. It was like, you know, it is true. This is like, you know, the anime, I guess, also non Japanese live action. Twin Peaks. It's just like, you know, it's just like, you know, it's just going to get really weird with this and very tensive. But just a little moment here, and then it's just like, oh, it's gone. It's just gone.
Yeah,
like, was that real? Was that imaginary?
Lives.
I don't know.
He just thinks that Sato's working for David to frame Odakawa, and then at the end he explains, no. David doesn't want to frame Odakawa. He just wants me to keep an eye on Odakawa. I'm essentially doing what we were doing for the lady at the bar.
I'm still technically doing my job, and also a gangster isn't going to murder me. So, you know, win-win. Great.
But yes, next week, going to become an idol in order to infiltrate the agency.
Because somehow, yeah, like Rena and Gan on one saying, yeah, well, let's go to the fucking karaoke routine. Well, let's for Colorado Falls. It'd be cool. It's just never going to work. I'm just going to phone it in, you know. And it's just like sequence we were talking about Rena and one saying, oh, yes, like Rena, like, you know, she's very headstrong. Like, you know, she's had a tough one life in the background. But she's got a strong sense of justice. That she's kind of waving her arms around. She's very like a real crime fighter, a real superhero.
I find like she's a fantastic actor as well. Like I find her like really flat, dry affectation like a really interestingly contrast to the way she acts with her friend Cannon and the way she's like, I'm nice actually, the way she's trying to be nice to people, but then it slips and the detective starts fucking questioning the suspect all of a sudden. Like, yeah, she's doing a great job of like slipping between these roles basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun show. Then we got more stuff I've not seen. Bartender, Glass of God, episode 4, A Bar's Secret Ingredient, The Face of a Martini, and episode 5, The First Drop.
No, I guess we're cast. Staying up late in Tokyo, get some more, hitting the bars. Spooky. So I remember the order of these things now myself in my head.
the martini one was basically the young bartender kind of comes in and she's trying to figure out how to make a good martini. Obviously, that's the way that's kind of like the through line of it.
Yeah, I suppose it begins actually with has like the secret ingredient of any bar. It's like it's just the bartender, silly. The bartender is what makes the place. Of course, it's a little kind of bit we're going to try and convince, like, we're trying to like get in this like he's a Japanese dude, but he's watching fresh and all that type. He's insisting I want to bring him in my hotel and getting French everything, like from French potatoes,
like even import the
French
water to cook with, like from France, and it's just like I won't fucking touch anything other than delicious Paris water. I'm pretty sure they got terrible water, but I could be wrong.
So to try and pull the old flim flam on him is just like, I know a place where a guy will like, knock his socks off. He's a real bartender, and it's like, yeah, okay, I'll go play a little game with you, sir. Like, I'm going like, decant this liquid right here, and it's like alcoholic beverage. And I'm sure if you can identify it, with your imagining such a taste of fun thing, yes, it's like, yes, it's very strong. It's like in public cooking sherry. Or port, perhaps, one thing. Yes, I believe it's like, it's like a cask of Amontillado, like cooking port, or whatever it was, one thing. Close, sir. This is for fine Japanese mirror, one very potent one thing. What?
And all of them are, including the guy who's supposed to be like, oh yes, this was chosen by our very our guy from the fucking. He's basically
the supplier to our business. They were very esteemed, like,
yeah, he's trying to convince him that the guy picked out this one specifically. He's like, I did, and he's all like, the cooking fucking drink is just like, yes. And initially the French chef is just like, fuck you fucking trying to trick me, this bullshit. And it's like, no, you were quite right to direct that, because they basically made the same thing as that port, using the same methods, but differently. Like your palate was spot on, because it's basically like a 1-for-1, just made using the same methods in a completely different place, using completely different ingredients to achieve the same ends, like you do with cooking, and like you can do with French cuisine. You don't need French water to cook French food, you fuck.
Yeah. Also, just the thing in itself, we want to get really good dinner. But it's like, oh, because you're a Japanese guy, you shouldn't cook Japanese food. They didn't, but you didn't, like, told you, you're Japanese, how can you cook French food? I bet you got a lot of that coming up, didn't you? So.
And you have this complex where I need to cook with French ingredients, otherwise my food isn't French because I'm Japanese. And it's like, no, you're a French chef. You're good for that.
So kind of standard, like, yes, you've got me again, Ryo Sasakura. I see now. You're wise beyond your years. Thank you very much. But yeah, like Kyoko, like the young bartender, is like, I'm just trying to like figure out, like, like it's a martini. It's very straightforward, right? I've made ways to make it fun, saying, what's lots of different ways. It depends, like, what mixes you use, even down to the olive temperature, the glass shape of the glass. Lots of different ways to go about it. Here, I'll show you. So it's like, here you go. So, it's usually made with, like, a gin martini. But you also have a vodka martini. You want to don't forget that. And then
it proves his point by sorry, no, go on.
And it's even a way, like, just like the twist of like the lemon peel, like even that kind of have an effect on it. When it's added in or anything, it's like, huh.
And to prove the point, like taking her to another bar where it seems like kind of a music bar, seems kind of trendy and stuff. It's like, this doesn't seem like, and the old guy who runs the bar isn't here. It's another young woman who's bartending, and she's like, yeah, I'll make you a martini, and she makes it it's like a slice through of a lime, I think, like that's just a circular bit that sits at the bottom of the glass. So it's not floating in your mouth as you're trying to drink it, which I was like, oh, that's good actually. Yeah, that's nice
pretty good. Yeah, and this is where fucking young Ryu actually he cut his teeth. It's just like,
yeah.
He's fun working like he's in high end like bars right now, mixing drinks, but fun. You get the basics, you get the fucking soul of it down right here, like in the trenches, and like Yuri Ginjo, he recognizes that one. Like he's like, oh yeah, like I'm actually going to be in the mixology competition like coming up soon. So I'm practicing like all my best drinks lately. He's like, oh yes, and then Kyoko was saying, wow, there is actually many ways to kind of like to see, because the main kind of thrust of it was like, we can make a martini, but there's no personality to it. Like, what bit of you is in there,
and what's your voice as a bartender, and she hasn't found that yet because she's just starting out. So yeah,
and what they do in this bar, like, with line limited things to the bottom of the glass, like one thing. Well, that's like, you kind of found that there. That's the way they do it here. So it was a bit of like the personality of whoever who made it is getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we got teach this again, like to decide, like it would be nice if you could like get out of town and go and visit actually one of the places we get one of our main like cocktail ingredients from. So you go to the Yamazaki, sponsored by whiskey distillery
They
out in the
take the
hills.
tour. You could take one too. Book it now. Basically, yeah.
Please come. But it's mostly about you have like Kelvin Chen. He's like he's the apprentice protege for Mr. Perfect, and he's been sent along as well. They're like, no, but you got like the bigger as well, and he's a pretty cold fish. From
Yeah, they
Kyoko's
all know
probably
each other. They're all chatting, that kind of thing. Kyoko's trying to ask him stuff about it. He's giving monosyllabic answers. Like it's just like, what's the deal with this fucking guy? Like he's hot, but like he doesn't fucking talk or nothing. And he's got plenty of shit out of his mind, as we find out. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so many kind of like things are coming across. He's obviously got something like on his mind is kind of weighing on because he's not even like fun. Oh, doing what I tried like some of like the it's like whiskey before it gets like put in the barrel and aged. You can taste the whole like different in the layers of it. One saying, no, I don't. It wouldn't be the right way. Even the second, I asked like to get to the tour guide being very like kind of one thing. Well, since you've all like are like are professional bartenders, rather than me mix a drink for you, how about you show me how to mix like another drink? It's like sure. Oh, I think Chen, you go ahead there. You've been doing nothing all day.
And he makes her a very basic like whiskey sour or something. Yeah.
A highball. It's a highball.
Highball. Sorry. Yeah.
It's very nicely done, but like I thought you expecting like to see a little something with a bit more imagination into it. He's about by doing it kind of perfectly. Fun, you could do it like fucking by the book. You could
nothing fancy, no fucking thing about it. Yeah, and they're kind of like trying to figure out his deal, like, and eventually gets him to try the brand new whiskey that's just made, and it's obviously clear, the new pot, and it hasn't been aged or anything, so it doesn't have its color or its distinctive taste, but it's a good idea to see where it starts from to get an idea of where it's going to end up. And he's like, yeah, I only need it at its perfect fucking stage. I don't need it raw and unrefined. And obviously that comes into play later as metaphors. So,
that's it. If it even shows them the kind of the water and that one is like, they put the distillery here because it's where so many rivers meet and the water, like, it's like a focal point in this because it started off as a little trickle and it became a raging torrent and it carved this landscape and now it's wound up in a balmy whiskey glass. You gotta forgive yourself what happened 12 years ago. You gotta forgive yourself. Because he was like, I guess the son of like, he's like
some business mogul guy.
He's half Japanese and he's half American or wherever the hell. Like,
I can't remember what his dad was. Yeah,
you guys see some kind of like a business magnate of I'm also going to take over the family business and run my chain of hotels.
And it's just expected of his son to be perfect in a different way, and he's
accompanies him on a business trip, then and a stay at a traditional Japanese inn, and he's taken with the young like lady who's the daughter of the innkeeper. And she's expected also to take up the family business and take on their thing. It's one thing. This fucking blows, from the two of us have been locked into this, like, our destiny from being decided for us. We're eating ice creams right now and say, okay, if you get a winner, you're gonna blow off going to dad and his fun meetings tomorrow, and you're gonna do what you want to do. And if I get a winner, I'm gonna fucking like pursue my dream. If we both get winners in the cocktail sticks and on the fucking the ice cream sticks, they were both going to fund Mitch off and go to like the big festival fairs. Like, yeah, we should totally do that. They're both winners. And say, yeah, let's do it.
What are the odds? They're basically going to go on a date.
But he couldn't stand up to his father. He couldn't defy him.
So he didn't do it. So in the present day, he has a charm from her, and he checked out her house, or her inn. Obviously, it's closed down. In the meantime, he's like, don't know what fucking happened to him. It's like, and your one kind of like, oh, that's a charm they only give away at the festival. It's like, so she did go to the festival, but without me. And it's kind of like, it's like, well, what's she doing now? It's like, well, presumably she didn't take up the family inn because it's fucking closed down. So again, it's the metaphor of, it's like, that's the raw unrefined you're looking at, and you're blaming yourself for that. You can grow from this to be a fine whiskey, young man.
I will show you fun thing. What am I drinking? It's just like, It's a Yamazaki 12 years. Like, see, in 12 years, you can become from like, just a little like one water in a stream all the way up to this like fine liquid, and it fills you full of something warm inside, something's missing inside. It's just like fun, the very wistful, fucking lingering regret to things. It should be like, I suppose, in one way, classic bartender, where like, I got my tale of woe here. I'm going to lay it all out. But I would say, like, just when it feels like a little. This is a little bit kind of more like you kind of want a little bit of like kind of the, let's say, more dreamy sort of style of the old show, because like this feels like it was just it's just like one of those ones. Why did you bother animating it? Because this could have been done a live action thing. It didn't feel anything very exciting happening with it.
You could have taken the whiskey tour and made it an even better advertisement.
That's just it. It seems like it was pushing a lot of that. Because it's very basic thing of fun. Like this, the girl you sort of knew when you were a teenager. You've been carrying that for 12 years.
I'm a very boring man. I don't know what to tell you.
It's like, I felt like one much tougher ones come through reused to fun. And this isn't what's interim fun. Saying, was a perfect metaphor here. Fun 12, just my 12-year whiskey. I'll throw them right out. Like, give me a hard one. Give me a hard one.
The side joke I like when we cut to the other two girls, the young bartender
Yuri and Kyoko,
Yuri and Kyoko are doing the fucking pub crawl, and they did not stop doing the pub crawl. It's like, yes, good stuff. Every drink tastes better than the last, and they missed the last.
Looks good, tastes good. That's my review. Looks good, tastes good. Ladies, you staying overnight? Let's see what you're talking about. We're getting the train.
We get the last train
here. Their train to stop running, ma'am. Ooh.
Shit.
That'd be fine. Whoa.
That B story I was fine with, because at least it's kind of the melancholy and shit that they were going for. I was just like, this is a nice little addition to it. But I
could kind of keeping like ones around, like one Yuri. She's pretty cool, and it's like she just runs like this wouldn't be a place you would go to get like you would think to go to like
very classy drink,
get a very classy drink, but you can get a very well-made drink, with a little bit of something to it. So there's like it's making space for those kind of things as well, and it's not just like one is distilled from like pure iceberg water drippings that came down to a little like funnel and made out of pure crystal, and that's why I think you could make this drink. This little not obviously some a highball. It's a very good highball. It can be like that's what you're looking for. It's something to kind of quench your thirst.
Yeah, you're right. I like the way they're showing there's different ways of being a bartender. There's different ways to look at this. There's different ways to find yourself in this kind of specific career, but in any kind of frame of life in general. And I was thinking the whole time, you're spelling whiskey wrong. You're spelling whiskey wrong, and it's just like, we got Three Rivers here, and it has a fine mist, because that's the kind of the lot of moisture in there to make whiskey correctly. And I was like, in Ireland where it's fucking wet, that's how you fucking make whiskey.
Yeah. I think I kind of did a little kind of the two segment setup actually, like it helps it a lot, and for these longer ones it can feel it kind of drags a little bit. It was
if they could have condensed this to like a half one, I think it would have been stronger for it. But I get what you mean.
Yeah, it just needs to be a little bit more kind of, again, like visually stimulating if it's going to like linger on this too much. Like 2 parts enough one, you can kind of get into it and get out of it quite quickly. But when it kind of just goes on like this, and you're kind of just going around this dude just hanging around, like it's a fairly it's a hang up, but as hang ups go, it's not that fucking life ending, is it? So
yeah, and clearly you moved on from that and became a bartender, so you did step out of your dad's shadow. So I don't know what
everyone's got something, I suppose. Everyone's got something. So
yeah.
Then we've got Chibi Godzilla raids again, episode 3 of season 2. Smartphones are handy, and episode 4 of season 2. Wake up, Brian. It's not bedtime yet. The Monster Island Godzillars with an R. So in the first one, Mecha Godzilla, he's made everyone smartphones. It'll be great. We'll all be able to keep in touch with him and meet up. No problem.
Unless people leave him on read or chat as if he's not in the main chat.
Yes. We all agree. Or if you just immediately break the smartphone, like Godzilla does. So they agree to meet up, but nobody's here. Checks the group chat. And they're discussing not going to meet up with Chibi Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, like I said, treating him like he's not in the group chat. Yeah.
And also Godzilla is there, Chibi Godzilla's there, and they're like, hang on, what, you break your phone? And it turns out
that was the thing I wanted everyone to meet up about. Like, we'll meet up, and I can tell you the thing I meant to meet up about. It's like, look what I found on the beach. And it's a smartphone.
Then there's like stuff about how people behave differently when they're on the phone to in real life.
Yeah.
Like Anguirus is intelligible.
Yeah, he's like, sorry, lol, that kind of fucking shit. It's like I'm told I have a thicker accent when I'm writing than I do in life. So, yeah.
And then Rodan gets so embarrassed that he buries himself in the ground.
But takes a selfie, I guess, of underground. Yeah.
Yes. What did Chibi Godzilla want to show us? It was the phone he found on the beach the other day. So why did you waste my time? And then in the 4th episode, Chibi Mechagodzilla tries to teach the other monsters how to play baseball. Which involves initially them all showing up wearing really weird costumes.
Because they don't know what baseball is.
Then it's very much like explaining the rules of a game to people who aren't paying attention. They just want to make jokes at your expense. That is thankfully not too often as it happened to me, but it's definitely happened to me. Mainly, I think it stopped happening once they realised nobody else was going to try to learn the rules and explain rules. So maybe if you want to play this game, you have to listen to Brian. But yes, they're definitely. It's Chibi Mechagodzilla saying, "It's not the time for questions," was the bit which I related to a little bit too much. Because whenever he brought a new concept up, they would ask a question that really had nothing, was not going to help them understand the game. It's like,
let me finish my explanation, and then you can ask a question about it. Yeah.
Yes, because it's like, why is the bottom part of the base round? This bat looks very dangerous. Is it a murder game? I think my favorite bit is King Ghidorah putting the catcher's mitt on one of his heads.
Yeah. Which that head was kind of like just muffledly talking through the mitt, and I was just like, that's pretty good.
And then finally he pitches against Chibi Godzilla. And turns out Chibi Godzilla is really good at baseball.
I feel like regular Godzilla has like at least thrown in like the opening fucking pitch of several games or some stage. That feels like something he should have done at some
I
stage,
think it's
right?
I think that when they say you remind me of Godzilla, I assume there was a baseball player who had the nickname Godzilla. And that's
probably, yeah.
Well, no, he's a keen sportsman. No, he plays basketball against Charles Barkley.
That's true. Yeah.
I also think some of the costumes at the start were culturally specific jokes that were not getting translated.
Yeah.
But it still works for us on an absurdist level. Then we've got Delicious in Dungeon, episode 17, Harpies and Chimera, and episode 18, Shapeshifters. In episode 17,
all goes to absolute shit.
It does.
This was fresh off
a total party kill.
Yeah, fucking like fresh off just like dropping. Yeah, we revised fan with dark magic. And it's like, how could you fun? You would do it in my place if we were kind of dealing with the fallout of that. It's just like enough of that shit. We got some commotion outside here. Something or someone has appeared.
We're being attacked by Harpies. Oh, don't worry, the ninjas will take care of it. And then they carry on arguing, and then they suddenly realise, oh, 2 of the ninjas have been killed. And not by the Harpies, by that massive monster who's standing on the roof with the Harpies.
The ninjas are dropping like flies. That's bad because they were doing really good against those Harpies.
It's a monster. It's Fallon. She looks so cool. It's like, it's like a dragon, but it's got feathers. How does that work? Oh man.
That's too much. That's greedy. You're asking like you got too many cool designs in combination in the. I think it's called like a chimera in that case, wouldn't it be? Yeah.
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 It was the
She's the
Chimera.
Chimera of the title.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
The Greek,
definitely what she's called
it's
in the
Greek
card
myth
game.
Chimera. This is like, Chimera can apply to, I guess, it's been
Yeah, any combination of it. Like a
any kind of.
basilisk is technically a chimera. Yeah.
And then Fallin kills most of these three parties who are all together.
But the thing that is just like that obviously our main party is kind of like looking as like, is it Fallon? Is it a monster that has taken Fallon's form? Is there any of her left in there? And that's the thing that's really kind of throwing him, because she kills like a lot of fucking people, but none of them, like, you know what I mean? She doesn't go after Chilichuk. She doesn't go after like Marcel. It's just like, and she recognizes Leos and fucking says as much, like, yeah, and that causes him to drop his sword temporarily. It's like, oh shit, so she's in there.
Okay, Cabru's on the case. He's going to stab the shit out of her. And
Like
cut
Cabru
the
taking off his
throat
armor is like,
under the ribs, into the heart. All the vital organs. But I guess it's much more complicated setup we're working with there, and she's not much the
where
worse
are the
for wear.
organs? Are they in the torso bit of the centaur part, or are they in the giant fucking dragon body? It's like, or is there two sets of fucking organs?
That's the bit right at the end after they've.
Yeah.
Because once they eventually see Chimera falling off, and then they've got to sort things out. Luckily, Cabru's mage is still alive and can resurrect people, and so they the second person they resurrect after Cabru is
Maizuru.
Yeah, because
resurrect anyone who could do resurrection. Basically, that's priority fucking one.
No, Marcel, you can't do resurrection. And meanwhile, the two lads are punching the shit out of each other because they've been arguing about this.
It's so fucking good, because like there's a few things I love where they're just like doing the manly fight. It's like, you're fucking wrong, and everyone's just like, all right, let's just leave him fucking to it and get resurrecting. Don't let that fucking elf resurrect anyone. And Senshi the entire time has, including the whole fight, has been carrying the little bit of sushi that's been made. He's been minding that so fucking well.
Yes, because she's like, oh, I didn't raise him right for him to get into a fight like this. They're arguing over. Laios' lots of his argument is like, you should be resting, eating, and washing.
That's why I'm going to win this fist fight.
Not because I'm stronger. You're actually a much better fighter than me. That's been established because you're the guy who always finished off the dragon and shit. But I've had 3 meals a day. I've gotten good night's sleep every fucking night. I'm fucking ready. I'm ready to keep on going.
It's actually kind of questioning, your determination here. If you're serious about this, you'd be like minding after yourself. Yeah. And well, he's right to kind of say, Laios is just so fucking kind of clueless, and you just fucking just come in and you've no regard for nobody, because there's very obviously I felt awkward or uncomfortable or things around you, and you just never picked up on that. You just decided, hey, sure, we're best friends now. I never fucking agreed to that. I didn't fucking be part of this. We were just fucking like work colleagues. That's probably all we were to you, man.
The contrast between them, where Laios is talking about him, is like, yeah, he was the first friend I met on the island, and he'd tell me about like distant lands and interesting things. And your man's thing is like, hey, tell me about Japan. Tell me about Japan. It's just like, fucking hell, I hate this guy. Like, just the complete difference that they see each other with.
He doesn't hate him enough to want to hurt his feelings.
No, like that's the thing. He's not technically being rude. He's being fucking annoying. Is the thing that he is annoyed with him with. It's like he's inconsiderate because he's a dumbass, not because he's an asshole.
I think Shuru likes Laios more than he's willing to admit until the end of the fight, and then I think.
Well, he wouldn't give him the little bell, so you can just give me a little ring, and I'll know that you're trying to communicate with me before he left, because he kind of says, "Ladies, pack it up. We've come too far. We gotta come back and resupply." And they're all going, "Whoa. You think of other people besides himself? Whoa. Okay."
And he's talking to them not as servants. He's talking to them as people who have supported him through this fucking hard time, and they're all just
they've lost one though. The mysterious cat behaving ninja has disappeared.
She'll show up. Don't worry about it. Like, she's probably wandered off. It's probably fine.
Because they've found everybody else.
Didn't like her anyway.
The fight against the Chimera is good because we can see the kobold in full out of cute dog mode into
like, this is Jesus, it's a dog with a knife. That's fucking terrible.
Hide.
But there's so many great bits, like where Laios is like picking up Kabaru after his failed stabbing, and he's like, "Come on, we'll get out of here." And like Kabaru gets like fucking just stepped on, like head fucking crushed. It's like, fuck? The fight is brutal, and while their swords can pierce her, she all of a sudden she starts casting fucking magic, and they're like, oh shit, a dragon that can do magic. That's really bad.
But one part where she was just like, she's just like, like rending her garments. It's funny, like, she's concerned her principal and saying, no, wait, Fallon, don't do that. But this, it's just like, oh God.
Yeah, it's
the
the shot of your man who's in love with her and Marcel, the woman who's in love with her, like both going like, oh fuck, I'm not prepared for this level of sexiness during a fight, but it's all feathers. There's nothing to see, but yeah.
Yeah, so Shira's original plan is we're going to go back to the surface. I'm going to turn Marcel into the Western Elves, and the Western Elves can deal with this because they know how to deal with this stuff. What's your plan, Leos? And Leos's plan is, well, it's been caused by the Mad Wizard. We'll eventually find the Mad Wizard will show up again, and when we defeat the Mad Wizard, we can undo
all this out.
whatever he's done.
When you take out who the guy who's the Lord of the Dungeon, I'll be Lord of the Dungeon, and then I'll fucking just sort all this mess right out.
Because at the start of the next episode 18 is we discover that Leos has figured the plot out.
He didn't tell anybody about it.
No, but before we get to that, we got the little bit with Cabru and Leos, where Leos is explaining, okay, he stabbed her in all the human organs, that didn't kill us. There must be all these other organs. Cabru not listening. This is how he gets killed by monsters. Because he's thinking about Leos instead, and also thinking about it's later on when he gets fed the harpy eggs things, is where you get the flashback of Cabru's youth.
The very quick, horrific thing. You can see why the hell he wants to stop a dungeon out spilling into the fucking land. Wherever he's from ain't on the fucking map anymore, basically. Yeah.
And he was saved by presumably the Western Elves.
Yeah, so he puts a lot of fucking faith in them because they take care of a dungeon that has been spilled over. But he's kind of looking at Leos as like, this guy really fucking likes monsters. Could he do it?
Yeah, it's like that's how he's so good. It's because he knows all about monsters. Well, he's not. He could be learning about monsters at this point and not thinking about how he knows about monsters.
He spends so long like manipulating people and trying to figure out intersocial stuff that he hasn't figured out inter-monster stuff that Leos has been doing. Yeah.
So everyone goes their separate ways. I love how the portal things is like climbing through a picture because that ties back to the magic picture earlier.
Well, I don't know. It's that like because it's like the Shuro's kind of outfit they're using, like kind of like talismans. They're using like
and she's using like a scroll that rolls itself up after itself and then disappears, and it's just like that's their version of it.
This return spell worked the same way. I suppose maybe just like very cultural variations. So it's happening to the same stuff.
When we saw your man using this on
the gnomes climbed through a picture back to their house.
Oh, yeah, they
yes.
did.
But it was a frame rather than a scroll, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Because then, at the start of episode 18, we get, he's figured out the plot.
And everyone's very mad that he did not explain it to them.
Yes.
Understandably,
He did point out they hadn't all come together until this last bit.
I didn't know that was the Mad Wizard until we met him as the Mad Wizard. It's like, but that was like several episodes ago right now, so you could have mentioned it in the meantime.
And so it's the son of the king that they're looking for. They know, because they're from outside, when the dungeon appeared and opened, the son of the king emerged and turned to dust. So
he said, it's like, hey, if you could fucking take it, it's all yours, and blah, I die now. Because he, as an old-ass fucking corpse, man, got to the edge of the dungeon, and you don't revive from being outside of the dungeon.
No. Well, he's finally at peace then.
And then they've been a really cold corridor, so they have to hold on to each other's hands so they don't lose each other in this blinding wind. And there's extra hands, so many extra hands when they get to safety.
Okay. Oh, jeez, we made it out there. Marcel, ice, please. I'm seeing quadruple here, 16 crusties.
Yes, so there's now 16 of the party. There's 4 of each of them, and they've got to figure out which ones are the real ones, and that's the episode.
It's a great puzzle that I'm not sure you could do it with a tabletop thing, because I'm pretty sure the player knows which player it is unless you give them like 4 different character sheets, which is the real one.
It's a lot more fun than a hot needle in blood.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite things is it's how the shapeshifter works, and like a mimic is, it takes one of the party's ideas of another character and makes that
Generates
visual.
their perception of them. Yeah.
So you're kind of looking at each of them as like, which of you made this version of Leos? That kind of fucking thing.
Which do you think this is? This is this how I looked to you? I was like, and then
Yeah.
there's some of them will just like write out one saying, okay, well, Marcy just going, well, this to me is obviously fake, and it's just like drawn and like, you know how like if you got like a Western port of Japanese video games called alternate box art. It's different from probably the more like let's say manga style. Let's say like Japanese box art. We're going to kind of change it around for the Western audiences. That's about the version of Marcel we get. You get cover of Mega Man 2 Marcel is in the mix there.
Very angular,
this one's right out.
Lipstick, that kind of thing. Like I think all the angular ones, and like this is my theory. I think all the angular ones are Chilichucks because he sees like all these like weird like square jawed like not halfling kind of guys, and it's just like, yeah, they're all like the giant Leos. That's Chilichuck's one. He's like, yeah, you know, a big fucking awkward guy. That's what he's like to me.
A big dope. Just immediate one. These Leos here are all wrong. So that's obviously by like, so they're all out.
So it's left up to Leos to determine who's going to be real and who's going to be fake once they've gotten the very obvious fakes out of the way, and all of them, including the fakes, are like, there's no way this fucking guy's gonna fucking do it. It's like we can't be relying on him for it.
To figure out by the gear point saying, well, I haven't got a scarf. It's actually a neckband. So the scarf boy here, he's not me.
Any of the guys lacking detail are Lios's guys. I think they figure because that Senshi doesn't have the holes in his helmet that Senshi distinctly fucking has. So other than that,
is out. Let's check our gear. Let's see what's going up out here. So go. Oh, I'll open my book of spells. It's just like scrawls and nonsense inside. So you're out because you've never seen a magic book in your life. So you're where you go.
And I like that one because like the Marseilles, like they looked very similar once you got rid of that very obvious one. It's just like, yeah, which one is it? It's like, oh, check their gear. It's like, because one of them doesn't know much about magic and shit. So yeah.
Yes, because the manga does have the list of whose was whose.
Yeah,
so.
but just watching it, you get to figure out, and that's a fun way to do it as well.
So now we're just down to like we got like
2 Senshis, 2 Marcels, and 2 Chilichucks.
Overly detailed Senshi.
I love the fact that they spend so long, and Marcel's like, isn't that one Senshi too handsome? The 2 lads are like, no, Senshi's like ridiculous.
No, he's always been that way. What are you talking about? Sensi's always been cool.
If anything, that Senshi looks too fucking dopey, and what is clearly real Senshi is like, oh fuck, I'm in trouble.
There's a Chilchuk who looks a little younger than the normal Chilchuk, but not as young as the one that Senshi has imagined.
Just
there's
like
straight,
cute, kind of rounder, more cuter than the people. Like this Chilchuk is very negative and very coarse. So obviously our Chilchuk is obviously a little cutie pie. But say, no, I'm not. It's not looking at me. But say, no, it's me. I'm the bitter one.
Yeah. One of them, like, because I think it's Marcel's one is very cute looking, and I was just like, so he's the one they got rid of. But this one is a little cute looking. But
Marcel's one's this is the one they've kept. It's the Senshi is the super cute one.
Sensi's the super cute
remember,
one.
Senshi always thinks
of him as a child. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. The 2 Marseilles is like, well, we got like,
Oh, one's kind of like
one happy eggs. I'm not even happy. I said no fucking demi-humans, didn't I? And said, oh, it's gross. That one's like maybe it could be Marseille, but that's to an extreme degree. A bunch of other Marseille ones in. We gotta say Fallon, man, fun. I've had everything. I've had fucking bastards. I've had fucking fishman eggs. This is no about me. If it's a straight Fallon, then it's like.
And the way Marcel left like the last episode as well, it's like the depressed Marcel seems pretty fucking realistic. They're just like, so someone's catching those vibes off.
I just did my hair. Like I had my hood up in the blister, but you didn't see it. But I did my hair. Like I always do it this way. Lads, come on.
That is the problem. Is that I think Chilchuk had remembered the hair correctly, but
he didn't trust his own thing
magic.
About it, yeah.
So the magic book is that's the nonsense one. So then when you've left with 2 Marseilles where the viewer can clearly tell which one is the right one, because it's the Leos one that's left over, whose hair is completely wrong.
It's just flat and there's nothing to it. I put it down in the wind, with blowing. It's just like
her depression seems to be very like all the characters, all the real characters are kind of like, yeah, Marcel is got kind of fucked up from everyone saying it's like we don't trust your dark magic evil elf. You know, it's just like
So a bit of that.
you can see why she'd be acting depressed. Yeah.
It's just like, like he doesn't infer it from like, I know this person very well, so this is like not how they not what they would be. He just like gets him for just as functionally but based on stuff. Oh well, you're fair to because Tulik won't sit in the box. He's afraid of mimics. He hates mimics. Marcel,
him dividing them into teams to cook so he can observe them and take notes while they're cooking.
Marcel, you would never pour out boiling water because you found an Undine fun shot you through the leg just like a few days ago. And Senshi, you would never take all the harpy eggs. You'd leave some behind. You would put the ecosystem.
But he also knows that this information was useless to him because whatever he did, they were going to do a fight anyway. But while they were fighting, he could find the thing which was causing the illusion in the first place.
He couldn't figure out the different parts of what makes them human, for lack of a better term. So he's like, I'll use my monster information to figure out which one's which. And it's like, it's going to descend into fighting. But that's to draw out the shapeshifter. Time for fucking Leos' secret attack. I am a dog. I am all dogs.
And then I forget that I'm a human being and try and fight nine-tailed fox as a dog. And then luckily the illusions have dissipated at this point and turned into leaves. And Marcel blows the dog.
Everyone's like, oh no, and Marcel's just clearly like cocking her fucking wand and about to blow this fucking thing up.
Oh man, the food was also an illusion. You gotta cook it again. Oh shit.
The fact that the Leos's dog sound effect is just a dog sound effect. It's amazing.
That I want that as a GIF as well of him and the dog, all the dogs he's raised, and he's taken into the internal thing of these dogs, and he's every dog he's ever raised. And I was like, there's something fundamentally wrong with you, and I love it. It's great. Don't change a damn thing.
It's the realization as he's leaping. You're like, no, Leos, that part of the plan's not going to work. You've become too dog.
But the animation gets super expressive right then. You know he's going to do something cool. Well, somebody's going to do something cool. It's not going to be you, though.
There's also, they do the trick again in this episode of him becoming a different resolution to the rest of the show.
Well, they just zoomed in on the still. Like, they didn't even, draw big or anything like that. It's one of my favorite chapters. Just because of fun saying, oh, now I get to see, what they all fucking really think about each other. And there's another one that's like almost repeats the sort of thing in a different way, a little bit further on the story, and it leads into an SBS style One Piece thing with like, could you draw so and so if they were a blank? It's like, oh, okay.
Like this episode felt like kind of like your writer. It was like, what does character A think of character B, and what does character B think of character C, and it's just like, and working out all those things and going like, I can fucking make that a chapter. Yeah, that fucking works, and done to great effect. Like it's a really fun fucking, it's a fun romp basically. Yeah. And then a ninja.
And then a ninja. Yes, I've got the ninja. Yes, there's another creature down the corridor. And it is our ninja. She's now out of a ninja outfit and tells them to put down their weapons.
Oh, she just pulled the mask down. She said she's wearing her ninja outfit pretty prominently. Pulled the mask down. She's like, okay.
But yeah, we'll get to see more of her next episode. So.
Yes, you will.
Then it is Windbreaker, episode 4, Clash, and episode 5, A Gentleman. In which we have a showdown with Shishitoren when Shoji Tomiyama shows up demanding a fight with our leader.
Mm-hmm. And Sakurai has just met Hajime with me, everyone saying this is the dude everyone's talking about. So it's just like, we sit a fun dumbass one rolling around and with some plans how he's going to be the leader. And then sees him immediately kind of flip from being, oh, someone outside calling me out. I gotta come down there and fucking just stare him down now. One meet him up. It's like, oh, now I see this is a dude without using his fist, he's using his fucking presence. He kind of has this kind of commanding aura.
It's the presence that he had on the intercom kind of thing. And even when he's like, all right, I'm going to get involved in this, so I just like, you stay there. I'll take care of this. He's like, I can't move my feet.
Umiyama seems to be concerned about the mental health of this Shoji Tomiyama who's shown up.
to get
he's
the
asking
Tour
after
wasn't
him.
always like this, you see. Then
Yes.
before he came along, he actually used to be kind of fairly alright. Then it became like the followers of power.
Because it was about the power. Initially, they were about like finding personal strength and becoming your best self. But then it's like, who's the best one though? Like, yeah. And it's, if you lose one fight, you get violently kicked out.
And I keep seeing it in too. It's just by nature of his kind of ruffled hairstyle and his stature. He looks like a crazier Becky.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a Becky without any of like the kind of principles or moralities. It's like it's just a little fun scrappy little bastard, little psycho. And as if one said, "Oh, it just comes out. Oh, okay, well, this is how it's going to be. So you pick your fucking 5 toughest lads. I pick my 4 toughest lads. We'll meet after school and fucking sort this out." So just kind of picking down the line for and saying, "You and me, we're going to go off," because they've been kind of swapping insults at each other as well. Some of them are kind of fun. I met you the other day, fun, you're only a piece of shit, and it's just kind
some
of
have developed rivalries instantly overnight. Essentially,
some of them go back like much further because one of them like points at Hiragi and just says, "Okay, where's Hiragi's a fun? Hey boss, let me in. I gotta go after this guy."
I did appreciate that them rolling up on their school, and it's just like the reason why I have to keep a cam right now is I know they've rolled up with all their boys, but he kind of like points to the building behind them and like tigers in a fucking cage. Every student in the school is kind of like looking out the windows like, we are fucking ready to just go to war. It's like one-on-one tournament. I'm fine with that. That gets a lot less fucking damage done. That's better.
But we'll do that tomorrow. Let's go to the restaurant and have dinner, and we'll learn that Kotaha is actually 16 years old, younger than a lot of the characters we've met so far.
And she's an entrepreneurizing young businesswoman, so it all works out. And also your man's sister. I mean, like functionally his sister, but like he's very overprotective of her in a weird way. So don't get too handsy is what I'm saying. Main character who's probably going to fall in love with her if he hasn't already because he's a stray cat. So yeah.
First person who's ever nice to me.
yeah.
And then in the following episode, they go out and get into the fight, and they're like, "What are you doing here, Nire?" And he's essentially,
"I don't know either, but I should be.
I'm speedwagon. I have to speedwagon it up."
Best way to learn about how to be a good fighter is to go in way over my head into this cinema full of fucking thugs and watch people who are good at fighting fight.
Well, but are they good at fighting? That's the question.
They talk a good game, certainly.
The first couple of guys who were the couple of guys we saw with the second command,
Joe Tagame, the little hangers on.
The closest thing that Sakura can say as a positive reinforcement is like, don't lose to this punk, because then I'm not interested in fighting you anymore. So like basically like a go get him. I do want to fight you later.
Yeah, Kyo steps up, he gets fucking like a dick in the face, but he's just like he just tanks it and then just destroys the other two.
Yes, because the guy distracts him.
It's like, that guy, the head leader you fancy is in trouble, and he's like, what? And it's like, punch in the face, gotcha, and it's like.
It's the fact I was like, mate, don't leave your arm there for that long. You're going to be in so much trouble.
It's very quick, but I liked how much of it, like, just like that guy's fucking gone, and they just basically roll him off the stage, not caring about him because he lost one fight. He's out.
Yeah, the kind of momentum. Then like Suo steps up, just a little hanger on. It was always like fun biting his thumb like that.
He's biting his thumb really that the guy who was his best friend, who was potentially stronger than him, got immediately taken out in one fucking hit. He's like, shit, I'm in a lot of fucking trouble right now.
And then he's just going around, stop trying to hit me. He's just flipping this dude around, just fucking him to the ground, slapping him on the back of the head, just like completely humiliating him. But he's trying to teach him something, trying to teach him like a very valuable lesson.
This is the day you become an adult, young man. You're going to learn something about what it is the difference between being a child and an adult.
And it's nearly worse than him just getting like punked around stage, because at least your man got taken out in one hit. Now they don't fucking care about him anymore. They're just gonna like leave his body to the side, and when he wakes up, he's just out of the gang. That's it.
Yes, because the furry guys are talking about what a gentleman they've heard Suo is when he was fighting in middle school, and then they see him fight, and they're like, Is this really
mean.
gentlemanly?
He's pretty mean.
There was no like stories of how he fought, no things of how he won, because he makes the other guy look like such a punk that no one fucking keeps track of it. It's like it looks like he's falling down on his own. It's like no. He's making it look like he's falling down over his own force because he's just deflecting everything and doing slight trips. It's very nice. It's very not gentlemanly.
Yeah, essentially, he first talks about imagination, and then it's like, now you can imagine how the people you were picking on felt. Is that?
Hmm.
Are you do you understand that now? Now you've got now you can empathise with people. You've become an adult, and then finishes it off.
Oh, so good.
I get it. This really feels like Doc and Mouse from Fish Marvel. He just kind of just one collapses because he's like, boss, it's just like, and fucking Tomiyabe he's falling asleep at this stage, and George Agame is just like looking at him and looking at him.
Yeah,
you didn't even get taken out in one hit, and you're out of the gang. You were out of the gang a few minutes ago. Like,
why are you still here?
yeah.
Yeah, the shots of Tagame's face are like, you think there's something else going on here between the questioning of when our good guys are questioning Choji Tomiyama, like, how are you doing? As if something bad has happened to him in the past. And then sort of there's like a sadness hanging over Tagame during this this fight. I assume we're going to learn some sort of tragedy that's turned these people into.
Well, as the leader said when they were rolling up on this place, it's like fighting is a conversation with your fists, do the talking. So that's how we're going to learn about characterization, by beating the shit out of them.
Good idea.
But very fun fights in this episode 5.
I was kind of worried because, like, not that I didn't enjoy the episode 4. I was just like, not much fighting, and then that instant kill, which I did fucking enjoy. I was just like, it's not gonna all be that. It was like, no. This is they've paced it very fucking well.
Well, it's still go on to a try. Oh, just do fun one episode, one fight. This is kind of fun. Go whatever point say. No,
I hope not. Yeah.
If you got 2 down already, it's kind of fun.
Well, if I do, I think this goes on. I think this ends in volume 4 of the manga.
Well,
okay.
we have the 2 leaders that fight each other, and then we have, like, you know, Haragi and his guy have got some kind of like pass together, and then like when Takama's getting stuck in, he's the fun vice commander, and Sakura's going to have his bit with him. So
yeah, it feels like big.
I think we're going to get more flashbacks in the other 3 fights, because we get a brief flashback in the second fight here of like seeing how these 2 worked together when they were younger. But I suspect we're going to get a lot more of, as you say, having a conversation through fists, where we will learn about people through violence.
the only way.
It is. But I think you have to open strong with, like, okay, these are our heroes. We can't see them taking a drubbing in the very first fights they're getting into, because we know they've secured this part of town because of how tough they are.
And the other thing is, like, the 2 guys we see fight, like the 2 guys they're fighting, they're not big potatoes. They're, like you said, no, they're just hangers on. It's like they need to get kind of punked to show that this fighting for power thing is a load of bullshit, and our guys are better than that. Yeah.
Gonna puncture the ego.
Then finally, Astro Note episode 4 and episode 5, and these were called titles still. Yes,
no titles.
Still no titles.
Yeah.
Mysterious.
Episode 4, I did fully see. Episode 5, I briefly skimmed through. Episode 4 opens with our hero counting all the ways the woman he's in love with is trash.
Our
hero. Sympathetic
thing
to do. That's all right. I get the feeling we're going to find out he's trash as well over the course of the series, based on the end of this episode. They're worried that having a ghost in the building will harm its reputation.
That's why we can't call the cops, who can arrest ghosts, but it being public that they've arrested a ghost in your house will ruin the property value. Something like that.
That's a chance.
Yeah.
So we're going to set up a trap involving
overfilled bowl of curry. Yeah.
So tempting.
It will spill on the ghost, and we'll follow the trail of curry. The dog will be able
the
to
ghost
follow
is hiding.
And
also the ghost will be like, too hot. because it's very, very hot curry. Yeah.
Dog is very scared about his role in this tracking down a ghost. It turns out there's no trail. But what there is a secret passageway which leads us to a hidden room, and inside that hidden room, a hidden waitress, which explains how she was able to carry the dish back without spilling.
Carry a hot bowl of soup without spilling it. And I do appreciate that, like, while they're going through these secret tunnels, the rest of the fucking building is just sort of like, hey, I never knew there was a secret tunnel down here. It's like, how the fuck did you get here? It's like, fucking, it was just going that way, man. What are you gonna do?
Nothing better to do. I was keeping it in tonight.
So she wasn't squatting. This was an agreement made with the previous landlord / owner, Tasque.
The oldest tenant goes, like, recognizes her, and he's like, oh yeah, she had a deal with your man that she was just gonna, like, lie down here, and he actually reconstructed the building so she could, like, move around in it through secret passages without having to interact with people because she's a bit socially awkward. And it's kind of like, how the fuck did he reconstruct a building to accommodate for one fucking tenant? This man is very suspicious.
Let's go and speak to the lawyer. And the lawyer explains, yes, didn't know much about him, but he told me if anybody came in with this symbol, a lady came in with this symbol, I was to hand over the building to her.
That's the symbol of the royal family of our planet. So obviously he must have been a weirdo.
Then all the awful tenants try and lure Aoi out of her room with booze.
Kind of again, 2 in 1 week. We're referencing the legend of trying to entice Amaterasu out of the cave.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah.
So that does not work. So they go and hold it in. They go to have a party in our hero's room where they find his trophy for being a rookie chef, which it's accused that this is supposed to be what he uses to impress ladies when they invite him back to his room.
And these two promised him that they were going to, like, get in good with the fucking landlady, but now they're making him look like a real prick in front of the landlady. So he has to go through his actual magazines, not dirty magazines, where it's like, no, it's a picture of me winning best young chef of whatever year competition. Like, yeah, no, it's legit. I'm pretty good at my job, which I don't have as a paid thing, more as yeah.
But Mira finds the Blu-ray that he's been trying. The one thing he has been trying to impress ladies with for the rest of the series so far.
Space conflict. Yeah,
it works. And hey, the sequel's in the cinema right now. Let's go and have a look at it.
Awesome. Only I didn't see you coming out of the law firm. It's inconveniently placed beside the Love Hotel.
Well, yeah. Also, we see that the Aoi has found the magazine, and she's the waitress in the photo. And then, when she finds the breakfast the next day, she eerily sniffs the note left for her.
Yeah,
she sniffs the note left for him. She reacts well, but then with other contexts, is like to his, like, complimenting, wow, you must have been a pretty good waitress if you could carry that fucking curry soup without spilling any. And it's just like, okay, so she's like, yeah, she's a slight bit of affection and a slight compliment has just enamored her entirely. Yeah.
The next morning, Takumi is full of joy because of the date was a success, going to the cinema, meets the old lady, and then sees that there's a new love. Well, she tells her that there's a love hotel has appeared on the outskirts of the city, and then he goes to look at it and then sees Mira and her fiance Shion Ginger driving in his space car. I assume this is actually his house.
It is his house.
In the next episode, he says, "Oh, that's my house." And it's like, what a misunderstanding. Wait, why do you live in, like, what looks like a bouncy castle? Like, what's fucking going on with the...
Also, why is she always going over there? Like, what are you doing over there?
He does, like, after he stops, like, freaking out, it's like, oh my god, she's going to Love Hotel, that slut. Like, him very close to fucking being an incel at this stage. He does kind of, like, when he realizes it's his house, it's just like,
I love the breakfast
doing in his house. Isn't that just as bad?
I obviously hate you, though. It's like, no. My intrusive thoughts.
Him replaying her "I love your breakfast" to "I love you" to I was like, I hate you. It's like, oh, if only my fantasies lined up to my reality.
And it's suffering, man. Fucking for this fun tasteless omu rice we've made, we've thrown it out for breakfast. What you call this? It's what we hired you for.
I mean, like, it's fine. It's just not great like your shit usually is. not good enough. So he has to find his game by drying way too many squid, like way more squid that I don't think they're going to get through in a fucking year between them. Like, come on.
And I'm very good for getting all of the Ika and then trimming it into squid puns. Like just going.
Yes,
"Geez,
that was some good translation. I will give it that.
what's cracking him? What's cracking him up, huh?"
But yeah, again we get another alien robot invasion. It's disguised as squid this time, obviously, so we can get a bunch of a child and a dog and a man chasing a tiny squid through a house, that kind of way.
Also, Ren's been peeping around. Maybe he's getting to the age he's hiding a magazine from his father. He's making goo eyes at the girl at school.
Yeah, so the
And
dad
now
kind of
he's
goes up and
like,
is like, he's hiding a magazine from me, lads, to the old lad and to our hero. And it's like if a young man is hiding a magazine and they're like it's porn, and he's like, yeah, it's porn. He's like, I fucking knew it, says the dad. It's like, that's what I fucking thought. He's definitely hiding porn, right? So we're gonna have to sneak into his thing, get his magazine, and see if it's porn. It's like, oh, it's this idol turned model kind of thing. It's like, I guess he's into older women. I don't fucking know.
getting to that age. That's probably why he's sneaking in and Terraco like no outside the shower right now because she's an idol. That's why he's into her.
He's being a weird creep.
Catches him in the act. It's like, what's it all about, young man? I didn't raise you this way. It's like, what do you want to see some booze? What's going on right here? It's like, no. And it's something, let's put it. I just want to try out wearing a skirt. That's so wrong.
He wasn't coveting the girl in school. It was her frilly skirt. He wasn't looking at the magazine for the hot pictures of an idol. He was looking for the skirts you can buy online now. And that kind of shit. He's just like, I want to wear a frilly skirt, okay? And the ones that's like, you could have just fucking asked. I would have lent you one of mine. And it's like, seriously? Yeah. And the dad's like, no son of mine's going to wear a skirt. I was like, why? Because like you're weird about it? It's like, no, because I'm unemployed and I know what it's like to be hated and feared by society. So I won't have my son be a cross-dresser. And they come to the compromise of, it's like, all right, what if he just wears it around the house? He's like, oh, that's fine. I don't see a problem with that. Like, that's cool. It's like I'm unemployed around the house. It's perfect. No one gets in fucking trouble.
It's nice. It's encouraging. It's like, okay, that's good. But I don't want to shoot this whole thing down. We're complicating the romantic entanglements then as well. Because how does it get mentioned there? Like, it seems like, Takumi, he's got off Mira because he thinks there's something else going on. And I don't know. Some comment
He
there
runs
about
into AOE and she's changed her look. Then they run to the
because
old
there's
lady
some
and they run
comment
away from
about
the
like,
old lady.
maybe he likes girls with shorter haircuts. Maybe I should do that. Also, you can't see my face with all this hair. I'll probably get a haircut anyway.
Yeah, so then they run away from the old lady. They find that he's like, oh my goodness, we're in front of this love hotel.
We ran to a love hotel. How embarrassing.
Oh, and
here
here's
comes
the
Mira
other
and
woman I'm
showing
in love
again.
with.
Yeah.
And yes, then I missed the bit where they're explaining what it was. And then I got the bit at the end where the dog has just given up trying to pretend he's a dog in front of people.
It's too difficult, man.
It's the meaning is what it is. It's like she gets to walk around on her hind legs, on her main legs, actually, like a regular person. I got from playing like a dog. Just because it happened, it looks like one of these dogs they have around here. I gotta
have the old
crawl
man
around
walk
like a beast
me every day. I gotta shit in the street. What the fuck? This is messed up, man.
I'm like a fucking you're fucking chief of staff in the royal family. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes, because first of all, the old man comes in with the photo of Tasque. The dog standing on his hind legs with his hands on his hips at that point.
Yeah.
I don't think he's talking in front of him, but he's standing that way.
And fucking the old fucking landlord has fucking like space elf ears. They can find
Yes. He's not human.
Guy,
I'm
not sure he's an alien, but just little some hints there.
Also, more importantly, Mira's mum's in the face.
I mean that's a bit of a giveaway as well, yeah.
But I'm just like, they might have seen her around, but funny, but kind of seen this dude every day. It's like funny. He's got one pointy ass elf ears. So funny, some people got pointy ears,
So Mira's kind of like, all right, I tell you what, we'll call Ma'am and ask her about the fucking photo. I'll call her up now. It's just like space bring kind of thing. It's like, oh,
hey,
shit.
Talking to me here. Can I talk to you for a minute? Oh shit!
I love the dog diving for the door handle to hold it. He's already opened it, so the dog just gets swung out with the fucking door. I was just like, that's good visual fucking gag. And a hologram of her mom appears, and Is it all rigged? Is it all out in the open? Are we going to Masonic Koku for
I
another
wasn't
fucking while
sure if it was
longer?
a hologram or if she was beaming herself there.
Yeah,
It
I
wasn't
wasn't
entirely.
sure.
It wasn't clear which
It's a
was
very
happening. 'cause
good hologram.
yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, like, I think she's in the opening, so yeah, it's entirely possible she's another fucking character in the show.
Yeah, that was a good panicking of like just the dog just dropping the pretense and telling him to get out of the room.
I can't come up with
Talk to
anything
me,
clever.
you're
Just
drunk.
fuck off.
You
It's
got
a
too close to the
dream.
gas stove in the fridge, the kitchen, didn't you?
Hmm.
You're
I wouldn't
seeing
mind if the
things.
pretense is dropped. I wouldn't mind if they come up with some very silly way of retconning it, like bonking him on the
Yeah.
head with a vase or something.
I
Yeah.
think this was the point in the interview, I think they said this was the episode where they figured out the ending of the show.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So I think it's around this point. Yeah, I think this is the direction the show goes in now. It definitely felt like that because it was like hitting all these interesting concepts and directions. In a like, yeah, you just feel better watching the show. It's such a everybody, even if they're making mistakes at a certain point, eventually they'll be doing the right thing. So
yeah,
it feels very. It feels like a very kind of a gentle kind of comedy where there's. You just feel like let's like people with kind of with regular like human flaws. You aren't like
yeah.
we're all degenerates. We're all equally as shitty to each other, but we might hug at the end begrudgingly.
Like our main
look,
character seems like he might be a bit of a creepo. Just some of the things he says and thinks that we're given privy to, or he says to the dog, thinking the dog does not fucking speak English or sorry Japanese, which it does. So you fucked up there, buddy. And I like the way Mira's kind of like, oh, I got to get the key to become the queen of the planet, and I was just like, I can hang out here and watch movies. That'd be cool too. Ooh, because again, her fiance talking to her is like, obviously we're going to get the key and you're going to be queen of the universe again, and she's just like, yeah, have you ever seen a movie? They're fucking class, man. Is like, was that thing your cook was talking about? Yes. I like he's being a total knob where she's like, actually I like hanging out here. There's no fucking pressure. It's I don't have to do jack shit.
I got a fucking cellar full of fucking plum wine, man. You gotta try some of this.
Yeah. I was like, I'll have to come and sample this breakfast you speak so highly of. Yeah.
anyone else, how was Spy Family Code White?
It's a lot like a long episode of TV show. The Christmas special.
Cool.
They come out in Japan at Christmas last year, and we're only kind of getting it now. But it is like very much so like Christmas film. Like the main thrust of it is, we gotta go family outing because like there's a cooking like class at school, which could be have a Stella on the line, and the principal loves this dessert that's only made in this like very kind of frigid region of the country. We can go there and go to a Christmas market, have some like all the usual stuff. We'll get like the mulled wine. We'll get the things that, and of course, this is also the site where like some breakaway military colonel is going to like do a coup with an airship and a cyborg. But it hits all the kind of classic things of like we're trying to keep this kind of pretense like kind of hidden from each other. It does have like you could potentially go see this film. I did go. Well, my gal pal do it. No, I told her kind of for this kind of basically what it's about. Just 5 minutes at the start. It's like fun saying this is Twilight. He's a master of disguise. He's a spy working for this. None of this like
Yeah. It gives
this is yours. She's the crowd name, Briar Princess. She's the best assassin in the world. And then this is their daughter because they're a family. And like get all established. He was also the dog. He can see the future. Like okay, all the main players are in the mix, and they all go on holiday. And it's nice. But just because like. You gotta like stretch your kind of let's say suspension of disbelief because within maybe the confines of like a school or a doctor's appointment, let's say, they could potentially like even on the cruise ship on the TV series Arc that's finished, like you could potentially kind of hide away from things, keep this whole kind of sham going. But you gotta kind of really explain how, like, Lloyd, you know how to fly this plane and kind of expertly like dodge anti-aircraft like gunfire and land it on stuff. And it's like, how do we all get here again? Why are we would have kidnapped our daughter? I guess did what any father did, will commandeer like an old plane and just like fly it here, and then you're gonna fly us to Ivory. It's like, how are they gonna like explain this away to each other? It's like, at the end when all has been said and done, the day is saved. It's just like, yeah. I guess it's just a movie. It doesn't really count towards anything. It's just going to be a bigger version of what you're already used to. So, that includes how willing you are to engage with this when it gets silly. And it does have the longest payoff to needing to take a shit joke we're ever going to get.
Excellent.
Let's say it's nice. It wasn't just like, it's on cinemas one night, middle of the week, and it's just gone if you didn't catch it then. So it seems to be like, we're trying to make like, a little bit, a short run of this. Like this, it's going to run for a couple of weeks, depending. And it's kind of nice to be able to get out here and do something like that. It's I highly recommend it. It is, again, it's a spy family. It's just kind of bigger. It's kind of a long episode of that, but yeah, it's nice. And there's cameos from most of your favorites. But it being away from the school, not many school antics, so you won't get much of them except at the top of the tail of it.
Okay.
But if I made a family, if you love that bond like I do, then it's a nice little outing to go for. So walk,
it looks
don't
like
run.
it looks like it's running for like a couple more weeks, and then it'll be back in June in a dubbed version.
Okay.
I feel like I want to wait to watch it at Christmas because I feel like that's the right fucking thing, right?
Well, what is more the hallmark of like
Christmas in July,
Christmas films past, and they used to come out in the middle of the year so that they're ready for home video in time for Christmas. Yeah.
I think I'm good waiting for it on streaming.
It's fine. Yeah.
I was worried it was going to have the One Piece problem of where does this possibly fit into the continuity? Like that fucking matters about anything. But it's
the thing of you got to take it like if you're one of these creators, it's like I guess Oda got to the point where he had to step in and say, "Can you just only make them every 3 years?" And I'll be a little
do
bit
a better
more
job
involved.
of it.
But I think you see the My Hero Academia ones. I guess there's like bits of that has slipped into the canon as people are discovering this week on the TV show. But really, they're not essential in the slightest.
Yeah.
Well, I think what was going on here too is that the film was directed by Takashi Katagiri. He's like only ever been an episode director on a bunch of with things, including Spy Family. So it isn't kind of the main director who's like much more of a seasoned veteran, Kazuhiro Furuhashi, and he's the one who does the TV series. He's done you kind of know how to handle adapting or working with things like this. But is this going to be a long episode of Spy Family? So we can hand it off to one of the episode directors who'll get the job done. And it's fine. It's fine. It's fine for that. No, it's fun. I had a good time in it. But it's probably would be not that essential outside of being.
If it played locally, I'd have gone to see it. If it played in my town, let's say, I'd have gone to see it.
Sure, of course.
I'm not paying the extra £8 to get on the train.
Again, it is a pretty good needing to take a shit joke, and you get as what you get a lot of Shigeru Chiba in the mix there as well.
Okay. But yeah, I think the last time we got one locally was Dragon Ball Superhero.
Yeah, that hit a lot of places. Like that even hit my local cinema, which is
it's
tiny.
Dragon Ball.
So yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's the other thing. Of course,
that's the effect it has on people.
Righty-ho, that's it for now. Back again with more next time. I'll try not to fall over in between episodes this time. Bye for now.
Stay safe out there.
Oh.